Chapter 305. The Jiang family and the Wang family did not have much contact. They did not interact much, nor did they have any grudges. They were like passers-by. It was because of this that Jiang Daoxu was curious. Why did the Wang family of the north come to the Jiang family? This time, there seems to be a quasi-supreme venerable in the Wang family's group. It seems that they are here to discuss something with our Jiang family, said the elder. Generally speaking, when a quasi-supreme venerable appeared, there must be something important to discuss. As for coming to provoke, that was not the case. The Jiang family was not an existence that anyone could casually provoke. Although the Wang family of the north was powerful, they would not be foolish enough to become enemies with the Jiang family for no reason. Moreover, if they really wanted to provoke the Jiang family, they would not just send a quasi-supreme venerable. That would be no different from sending food to the Jiang family. Go and take a look, Jiang Daoxu said with a wave of his hand. His body was not in good condition, so it was not good for him to appear. Come, Jiang Ro Xiaoyao, accompany me for a chat, Jiang Daoxu said with a kind smile. He had a feeling that his body could not hold on for much longer. In these limited days, enjoying the happiness of family was the last consolation. As for life and death, as a prime expert, Jiang Daoxu was already indifferent to it. Having lived to this level, Jiang Daoxu had already seen through many things. The only thing he was worried about was his family, Jiang Ro, Jun Xiaoyao, and other relatives. Jun Xiaoyao nodded. At the same time, he was also thinking, is there really no way to save grandfather? At the same time, some of the Jiang family elders also went outside to deal with the Wang family of the north. Outside the Jiang family's mountain gate, a group of people stopped in the sky. There were ancient beasts pulling carriages, ships flying in the sky, and banners with the word Wang written on them. The Wang family of the ancients was the supreme overlord of the extreme north of the Huangtian mystic realm. The family occupied more than 30 prefectures, and was extremely prosperous. Even the Jiang family of the ancients, one of the 3 Yu families, had to be careful when facing the Wang family of the north. The elders of the Jiang family all had solemn looks in their eyes. They did not understand why the Wang family of the north came to the Jiang family this time. The Wang family of the north and the Jiang family did not have much of a relationship. They were neither allies nor enemies. The two forces were like passers-by who did not interfere with each other. Now, the Wang clan of the north had actually come to the Jiang clan, and they were even led by a quasi-supreme. Clearly, the Wang clan had something to discuss with the Jiang clan. I didn't expect the northern overlord to come to our Jiang family. Your presence brings light to our humble dwelling, said one of the Jiang family's elders politely. You're too polite. As expected of the Jiang family of the ancients, one of the 3 great families of the Yu dynasty. You have such a magnificent land that my Wang family of the north is ashamed of our inferiority. A majestic figure stood in the sky, giving off a heavy pressure. This wasn't something that could be done, but it was a natural aura. The Jiang clan elder did not mind the flattery of the Wang clan's quasi-supreme. Instead, he asked straightforwardly, "May I know why you have gathered such a large force to my Jiang clan?" Facing the Wang family of the north, although the Jiang family was cautious, they were not afraid. Friends are here, so there's good wine. Enemies are here, so there are sabers and swords. There's no need to be so vigilant. The Wang clan has come with absolute goodwill and sincerity. We want to form an alliance with the Jiang clan, said the quasi-supreme with a faint smile. Form an alliance? The Jiang clan elder was surprised. Their 2 great forces had nothing to do with each other. Why did the Wang clan have the intention of forming an alliance now? The old drunkard of your Jiang clan is good at divination. He should also know that a great era is coming, and the wind and clouds are surging. All sorts of impossible things can happen in this era. Even immortal powers can be destroyed in this era of great strife. Therefore, an alliance between our 2 clans is beneficial to both sides, said the Quasi-Supreme. The Jiang clan elder's eyes flickered. What he said was true. The arrival of a great era could indeed cause earth-shaking changes. Even the clan of the ancients, which had been passed down for countless eras, could not sit still. Then the Wang clan means. The Jiang clan elder hesitated. A marriage alliance, said the Quasi-Supreme. A marriage alliance? The Jiang clan elder raised his eyebrows. The Wang clan came all the way to the Jiang clan just for a marriage alliance? Yes, I believe you have heard of the name of the Wang clan's young emperor. The Quasi-Supreme raised his chin slightly, and there was a touch of pride in his tone. The Wang clan's young emperor, Wang Ting, was the pride of almost everyone in the Wang clan. For Wang Ting's rise, the Wang clan could pay any price. The name of the Wang clan's young emperor is well known. Who doesn't know you? The Jiang clan elder chuckled. If it was before, the Jiang clan elder might be envious that the Wang clan had such a talented son. But now, these Jiang clan elders were very calm. Because the current young master of the Jiang clan was Jun Xiaoyao, an existence who was definitely not weaker than the Wang clan's young emperor. Seeing the somewhat perfunctory expression of the Jiang clan elder, the Wang clan Quasi-Supreme frowned slightly. But he still said, "There is someone in your Jiang clan who is worthy of the Wang clan's young emperor." "Oh, is that so? May I ask who it is?" The Jiang clan elder raised his eyebrows slightly. The Quasi-Supreme said that someone was worthy of the Wang clan's young emperor. These words were a bit of a belittling of the Jiang clan. "The goddess of the Jiang clan, Jiang Shengyi," the Quasi-Supreme said. "What, Shengyi?" The clan elders were slightly surprised. They didn't expect the Wang clan's young emperor to have his eyes on Jiang Shengyi. Jiang Shengyi had an innate Taoist embryo, and her future was limitless. Not to mention other things, if someone could become Jiang Shengyi's Taoist partner, the benefits would be endless. If they were to cultivate together, the innate Taoist embryo alone would be a great fortune. Obviously, the Wang clan's young emperor had this idea. Of course, in addition to this, Jiang Shengyi was indeed a peerless beauty, the best of the generation in the Huangtian mystic realm. "This is a bit sudden, and we have to ask for Shengyi's opinion," the Jiang clan elder said. The prides of ordinary forces might be the tools of an alliance through marriage. But the Jiang clan of the ancients was strong, and they had a super-powerful ally in the Jun clan. There was no need to sacrifice Jiang Shengyi's happiness in order to win over the Wang clan. Of course, if Jiang Shengyi was willing, it would be a different matter. At least the Jiang clan wouldn't force Jiang Shengyi to marry. Hearing this somewhat vague and ambiguous answer, the Quasi-Supreme of the Wang clan frowned slightly, somewhat dissatisfied. The Wang clan's young emperor was a brilliant young paragon. In his mind, the Jiang family should have been very happy and agreed to it directly. But the Wang clan had long been prepared for this situation. The Quasi-Supreme of the Wang clan curled his lips into an inexplicable smile and said lightly, "As I said, the Wang clan came with sincerity and goodwill this time. Your Jiang clan's prime, Jiang Daoxiu, who used to dominate everywhere, is in a bad situation now, isn't it?" As soon as these words came out, the faces of the Jiang clan elders instantly froze. Chapter 306. How could the Wang family know about Jiang Daoxiu's condition? Jiang Daoxiu had never fought in recent years and had been recuperating in the Qian Kuan small world. Logically speaking, the outside world should not know about this. "How did you know?" an elder of the Jiang family asked in a deep voice. They had been polite to the Wang family before. But now they were a little cold. The Wang family Quasi-Supreme smiled faintly and shook his head. "That's not important. What's important is that the Wang family is sincere in helping Jiang Daoxiu recover." "What?" Hearing this, the Jiang family elders' expressions changed slightly. They did not need to hide anything now because the Wang family already knew about the situation. But if the Wang family could really save Jiang Daoxiu, it would be a great favor. After all, if a prime fell, it would be a great loss for a clan of the ancients like the Jiang family. Oh, the Wang family has a way to help me recover? At this moment, an old figure tore through the void and appeared. It was Jiang Daoxiu. Behind the Jiang family, Jiang Rou, Jun Xiaoyao, and the others also rushed over. Jiang Daoxiu's body was filled with a rotten aura. However, the pressure that belonged to a supreme honorable still made the Wang clan quasi-honorable's expression freeze. Jiang Daoxiu was a famous top powerhouse in the Huangtian mystic realm. Even though he had not fought in recent years, his power was still there. Haha, it would be a pity if an expert like Elder Jiang were to fall in such a sad manner. The Wang family is willing to use a 9-wonder reincarnation, immortal grass, in exchange for the marriage between the Jiang family's goddess and the Wang family's young emperor. The Wang clan's quasi-supreme martial artist's words shocked all the Jiang clan members present. A strange look flashed across Jun Xiaoyao's face. The Wang family's young emperor had set his eyes on Jiang Xingyi? Jun Xiaoyao narrowed his eyes, and a cold light flashed in his eyes. Jun Xiaoyao had also heard of the 9-wonder reincarnation, immortal grass. It was an extremely rare immortal herb, and even among the immortal herbs it was considered the best. It was rumored that the 9-second reincarnation immortal grass could completely transform a person. It could get rid of all illnesses, hidden injuries, and flaws. It could also cleanse the body and primordial spirit, allowing a person to reach a near-perfect state. Of course, perhaps it was because this medicinal effect was too heaven-defying. Therefore, there were only a few stalks of 9 wonders reincarnation immortal grass since ancient times. In the entire Huangtian mystic realm, there were probably not even 1 or 2 such plants. If this kind of medicine could be obtained easily, then the Jiang clan would have found it for Jiang Daoxiu long ago. It was even rumored that this medicine had only appeared in dangerous places like the eternal burial ground. It was surprising that the Wang family had a stock of 9 wonders reincarnation immortal grass. As if afraid that the Jiang clan would not believe him, the Wang clan quasi-supreme waved his hand. A stalk of grass appeared in his hand. This stalk of grass had a total of 7 leaves, all of which were of different colors. There was a dense aura circulating around it, and it was surrounded by an extremely rich fragrance. Just by smelling that scent, one would feel as if they were about to ascend to the heavens. It is indeed the 9 wonders reincarnation immortal grass. The eyes of the Jiang family elders trembled slightly. No one had expected that the Wang family would be willing to take out such a top-grade immortal medicine. How is it? The Wang family has shown enough sincerity, right? This stalk of 9 wonders reincarnation immortal grass is the betrothal gift. Moreover, the Wang family's young emperor is definitely worthy of your Jiang clan's goddess. Elder Jiang can also recover his health. This is the best of both worlds, why not? The words of the Wang clan's quasi-supreme moved some of the Jiang clan's elders. Indeed, the Jiang clan and the Wang family had never had any grudges. It was not impossible to form an alliance. Moreover, it was also beneficial for the Jiang clan. Not to mention the benefits of forming an alliance, at least Jiang Daoxiu could be saved. To be able to save a supreme honorable was also extremely important for the Jiang clan. The only thing that mattered now was Jiang Xingyi's attitude. At this moment, Jiang Xingyi bit her red lips with her pearly white teeth. Her picturesque face was slightly pale. She did not expect the Wang family to come for her. They even wanted her to marry the Wang family's young emperor. To be honest, Jiang Xingyi had naturally heard of the Wang family's young emperor. But so what? Jiang Xingyi's heart was already occupied by a figure. How could she tolerate another? However, if she did not agree, Jiang Daoxiu could not be saved. From the perspective of the Jiang clan, Jiang Xingyi should agree. Jiang Rou's expression also became somewhat nervous. After all, Jiang Daoxiu had a chance to recover. However, Jiang Rou did not ask Jiang Xingyi to agree. This kind of thing was indeed somewhat unfair to Jiang Xingyi. Many Jiang clan members present looked at Jiang Xingyi, waiting for her decision. Sister Xingyi. Jiang Luoli's small face showed a hint of worry. She did not know that something had happened between Jiang Xingyi and Jun Xiaoyao by accident. However, she did not want Jiang Xingyi to sacrifice her own happiness. However, Hua Yuanxiu's eyes flashed slightly. He said, "The Wang family's young emperor is also a hero. The goddess will not be wronged if she marries him. She can also obtain the 9 Wonders reincarnation, immortal grass, and save the Grand Supreme Elder. Why not?" Hua Yuanxiu's words gained the approval of some Jiang clan members. Indeed, if she were to marry a cat or a dog, it would indeed be wrong for Jiang Xingyi. However, the Wang family's young emperor was not a cat or a dog. Instead, he was one of the most famous, powerful, and prestigious young primes in the entire Huangtian mystic realm. Marrying the Wang family's young emperor was indeed not an insult to Jiang Xingyi. It is your fortune to be able to marry the Wang family's young emperor. Do you still need to consider such a good thing? The Wang family's prospective supreme elder said lightly. Hearing this, Jiang Xingyi clenched her jade-like hands. She couldn't help but glance at Jun Xiaoyao from the corner of her eye. Jun Xiaoyao stood with his hands behind his back. His face was calm and expressionless. This made Jiang Xingyi feel a little pain in her heart. Did Jun Xiaoyao not care at all? Thinking of the absurdity of that time, Jiang Xingyi felt more and more like her heart was being torn apart. Perhaps this kind of relationship should not have happened in the first place. "I am willing," Jiang Xingyi said with difficulty. A self-deprecating smile appeared at the corner of her lips. Hearing this answer, the Jiang clan members present sighed slightly in their hearts. How could they not see the reluctance on Jiang Xingyi's face? The Wang family's prospective supreme elder nodded slightly. Whether Jiang Xingyi was truly willing or not, at least she agreed. The main reason why the Wang family's young emperor wanted to marry Jiang Xingyi was that he wanted to use her innate Taoist embryo to reach a higher level. As for such a luxurious thing like love, it did not matter whether it existed or not. At this moment, a voice sounded faintly. "Sister Xingyi, is this really your original intention?" Hearing this, Jiang Xingyi's delicate body suddenly trembled. Some sparkling and translucent light flickered in her beautiful eyes. She turned her face and looked at Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes also looked at Jiang Xingyi. The two's eyes met, and their gazes intertwined. If this is Sister Xingyi's original intention, I won't say anything more. Jun Xiaoyao's voice paused, and there was a touch of dominance in his calm tone. But if it isn't, then not to mention the Wang family of the north, even if the Heavenly King comes, he won't be able to take you away. Chapter 307. Jun Xiaoyao's words were deafening and resounded in everyone's ears. No one expected that the person who stood up for Jiang Xingyi at this time would be Jun Xiaoyao. Jiang Xingyi's delicate body trembled, and her heart was numb. An indescribable feeling of gratitude and joy welled up in her heart. Jun Xiaoyao's words didn't contain the word love. But in Jiang Xingyi's ears, it seemed to be the most beautiful words of love in the world. At this moment, Jiang Xingyi's heart was completely moved. Jun Xiaoyao was more than 10 years younger than her, but now Jiang Xingyi found warmth and security in Jun Xiaoyao. This was the first time that Jiang Xingyi had experienced this feeling. If it weren't for the fact that they were in public, Jiang Xingyi might really have wanted to hug Jun Xiaoyao. And the members of the Jiang family present looked at Jun Xiaoyao and then at Jiang Xingyi, with a hint of surprise in their eyes. Both of them were dressed in white. Jun Xiaoyao was handsome, like an immortal from heaven. Jiang Xingyi was peerless, like a fairy from the moon palace. Why did it feel like they were a match made in heaven? Even Jiang Luoli's big eyes looked at the two of them suspiciously. Although Jiang Luoli was usually a silly girl, there were also times when she was meticulous. Why did it feel like there was something wrong with the relationship between these two? The face of the Wang family's quasi-supreme master darkened slightly. He had never seen Jun Xiaoyao before, so he didn't know that this young man in white was the famous son of God of the Jun family. Where did this rude junior come from? Are you qualified to interrupt? Jiang Xingyi had already agreed, but was stopped halfway by a young boy, so the quasi-supreme master of the Wang family was naturally unhappy. If not for the fact that this young man was from the Jiang clan, the Wang clan's quasi-supreme martial artist would have already slapped him. Do I need you to decide if I'm qualified or not? Jun Xiaoyao stood with his hands behind his back, confronting the Wang clan quasi-supreme. You are the young lord of the Jiang clan? The Wang clan prospective supreme martial artist frowned and glanced at Hua Yuanxiu. Jun Xiaoyao did not call himself this son of God, but this young lord. There was a huge difference between the two. It meant that Jun Xiaoyao was not speaking as the son of God of the Jun family, but as the young master of the Jiang family. Jun Xiaoyao is the new young lord of the Jiang family. If he is not qualified, then no one else in the Jiang family is, an elder of the Jiang family said coldly. What? You're Jun Xiaoyao? The Wang clan quasi-supreme's expression changed. This was far beyond his expectations. Ordinary juniors were really not qualified to talk to him. But Jun Xiaoyao was not only the son of God of the Jun family, but also the young master of the Jiang family. If this news were to spread, it would definitely cause a stir in the Huangtian mystic realm. Jun Xiaoyao's identity was extremely noble. Insulting Jun Xiaoyao was equivalent to insulting the Jun family, the Jiang family, and the Holy Spirit College. Even the Wang clan quasi-supreme martial artist could not resist. The reason why Jun Xiaoyao said that was because he had no other intentions. Even if that ridiculous thing had not happened between him and Jiang Xingyi, Jun Xiaoyao would still stand up. Logically speaking, he could not watch Jiang Xingyi sacrifice his happiness for a Nine Wonders immortal grasp. As for his complicated relationship with Jiang Xingyi, Jun Xiaoyao really did not want to think about it now. I refuse. Jiang Xingyi almost did not hesitate at all. She could not go against her own heart. More importantly, if she still reluctantly agreed, wouldn't Jun Xiaoyao misunderstand? Jiang Xingyi did not care if she felt wronged, but she did not want Jun Xiaoyao to misunderstand her. Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly, looked at the Wang clan quasi-supreme martial artist, and said, You have heard it. In that case, please go back. Jun Xiaoyao's words made the Wang clan quasi-supreme martial artist choke, and his face turned ugly. Jun Xiaoyao had single-handedly ruined everything that had been going so well. Furthermore, from the perspective of the Wang family, Jun Xiaoyao did more than just destroy the marriage alliance. The Wang clan's plan was also indirectly destroyed by Jun Xiaoyao. This made the Wang clan quasi-supreme martial artist look at Jun Xiaoyao with a cold gaze. At this moment, a voice suddenly came from a carriage at the back of the Wang clan's team. Jun Xiaoyao is indeed as arrogant as the rumors say. Hearing this voice, everyone's eyes narrowed. Boom! It was accompanied by a loud bang. The carriage directly exploded. Immediately, a figure, shrouded in a dazzling light, stepped out with his hands behind his back. With one step, the world changed color. The qi in the universe seemed to have become chaotic with his appearance. Some people had this kind of temperament. They were born high and had an extraordinary life. Is that the young emperor of the Wang clan? The young emperor of the Wang clan came in person? Many young people of the Jun clan could not help but exclaim. The young emperor of the Wang clan, Wang Ting, was very famous in the Huangtian mystic realm. The main reason was that the Wang clan spread the news everywhere, and Wang Ting's father, who always talked about his son's great emperor temperament, was afraid that others did not know. But now, feeling this aura that was enough to shake the world, the young emperor of the Wang clan was indeed worthy of the title. Wang Ting. Jun Xiaoyao's expression did not change as he looked at the figure shrouded in endless light. His appearance was quite flamboyant. But so what? Jun Xiaoyao was not afraid of anyone. At this moment, Wang Ting's body was shrouded in endless light, making it impossible to see his appearance. All kinds of divine phenomena appeared around him. A true dragon came out of the sea, a divine phoenix spread its wings, a qilin leaped into the sky, and a black tortoise carried a mountain. This aura was terrifyingly powerful. He was definitely second to none among the younger generation of the mystic realm. He was confronting Jun Xiaoyao. These two people. One of them had a powerful aura that shook the world. The other was wearing a white robe that intimidated the universe. The young emperor of the Wang clan. The son of God of the Jun clan. For a long time, people were curious about what kind of fierce sparks would be created if the two of them met. And now they were finally facing each other. Wang Ting first looked at Jiang Shengyi and said, "Jiang Shengyi, you have an innate Taoist embryo. You are indeed worthy of me." Jiang Shengyi's beautiful eyes only showed a trace of disgust when she heard this. Why did he make it sound like she was the one who wanted to be with Wang Ting? Jiang Shengyi wanted to be with Jun Xiaoyao. How could Wang Ting be qualified? You obviously covet the innate Taoist embryo, but you say that you are so high and mighty. Wang Ting, the higher you stand, the harder you fall. Jun Xiaoyao stood with his hands behind his back, and there was a hint of sarcasm in his tone. "Oh, aren't you the same?" Wang Ting sneered. If they were talking about people who stood high, Wang Ting was flattered. But then again, Jun Xiaoyao was standing at the top as well. "You and I are different. It is natural for me to be the son of God, but for you, you are just an undeserved reputation," Jun Xiaoyao said. These words made everyone around almost stop breathing. These two people, from the beginning, were at odds with each other, and there was a smell of gunpowder. The Wang clan's prospective supreme martial artist's eyes were surging with anger. Jun Xiaoyao dared to despise and offend the Wang clan's young emperor. "Haha, I finally met someone who is more arrogant than me," Wang Ting sneered. "Young emperor? Are you worthy?" As soon as Jun Xiaoyao's voice fell, the divine power in his body surged. He pushed the sky thousands of miles away, and directly suppressed Wang Ting with an absolutely domineering posture. Chapter 308. Everyone was so shocked that they felt numb all over. No one expected Jun Xiaoyao to be so domineering. He attacked Wang Ting without saying a word. This sudden move was out of everyone's expectations. The son of God of the Jun family and the young emperor of the Wang family were both peerless figures. Both of them were invincible. When the two of them collided, it was like a needle against an awl. As the saying went, kings would not meet kings. If the two kings met, they would definitely start fighting. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao's overbearing attack, Wang Ting snorted coldly. He stomped on the ground with one foot, and countless divine rays turned into sharp swords. They slashed through the air as if they were going to cut the void in all directions. Jun Xiaoyao pushed the sky thousands of miles away with one hand. The power of the divine elephant overpowering force surged, turning into a golden divine elephant that suppressed all directions in the universe. Boom! The elephant's trunk rolled up, setting off a wave of golden magical power that wiped out all the divine rays and sharp swords. "Oh, interesting." Wang Ting smiled faintly and then said, "However, you're just a brute with divine power." Wang Ting's comment angered everyone in the Jiang family. Jun Xiaoyao was now the young master of the Jiang family. What right did Wang Ting have to comment? However, in the next moment, divine light burst out of Wang Ting's eyes. Above his head, a pattern that looked like an eye appeared, as if it could see through heaven and earth. "That's the heavenly eye of martial arts." The young people of the Jiang family, who were originally angry with Wang Ting, couldn't help but gasp when they saw that eye. The heavenly eye of martial arts was a terrifying ability that could only be evolved when one's martial arts cultivation reached an extremely profound level. It was rumored that once the heavenly eye of martial arts was activated, it could see through the flaws of all magical powers. Any move would be full of flaws in front of the heavenly eye of martial arts. There was nowhere to hide. Boom! Wang Ting pointed his finger once again and destroyed the golden divine elephant directly. Jun Xiaoyao's expression was still calm. His move just now was just a test. It was just a casual move. The corner of Jun Xiaoyao's mouth curled into a cold smirk as he continued to test the waters. He already knew Wang Ting's background. Jun Xiaoyao executed the engulfing devil skill, a terrifying engulfing whirlpool which seemed to be able to swallow the heavens, pressed down on Wang Ting. Chaotic heaven holy art! Wang Ting struck out with both hands. His mana condensed into countless ribbons. It was as if he could destroy this part of the world. That might cause Jiang Zuling and the other prodigies' expressions to change. This was the power of a young emperor. It was terrifying. However, Jun Xiaoyao remained motionless. His god-engulfing demonic art clashed with Wang Ting's chaotic sky saint technique. At the same time, a fist of the 6 paths of reincarnation punched out, bolstered by the power of 140 origin immortal bones. The immortal light was vast and mighty, as if it had obliterated a part of the void. Even Wang Ting's body trembled. Because his martial Tao heavenly I was actually unable to see any flaws in this punch. Jun Xiaoyao's fist of 6 paths of reincarnation was almost flawless. Rumble! The 6 paths of reincarnation vortexes were like 6 small worlds. Together with Jun Xiaoyao's punch, they crushed toward Wang Ting. And then, poof! Wang Ting's body was directly destroyed. This scene caused everyone to tremble. Many prodigies of the Jiang family widened their eyes, and their scalps went numb. Wang Ting, the young emperor of the Wang family, was defeated just like that? This made everyone unable to come back to their senses. The Wang family's quasi-supreme and the others also showed a hint of surprise. At this moment, Wang Ting, who was about to be destroyed, said, "Very well, Jun Xiaoyao, you're the first one who dares to destroy my spiritual body." What? Hearing this, the Jiang family members, who had been shocked just now, were now even more in disbelief. Wang Ting, who had such a powerful aura, was only a spiritual body? Of course, only the younger generation of the Jiang family was surprised. The elders and the others had already seen through it, so there was no change in their expressions. However, some of the younger generation of the Jiang family were quite shocked. Right now, Wang Ting was only a spiritual body, but he was already so powerful. Then, how powerful would the real Wang Ting be? Don't flatter yourself. Even if your real body is here, you're no different from this spiritual body in front of me. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were indifferent. He had developed an invincible Taoist heart, so he was not afraid of any opponent or challenge. Jun Xiaoyao stomped down with one foot, and in the most powerful and domineering manner, directly destroyed Wang Ting's spiritual body. Jun Xiaoyao, I'll remember this. I'll give you a defeat in the immortal ancient world. After saying this, Wang Ting's spiritual body collapsed into endless light spots and dissipated into the void. You talk a lot. I hope you can arouse my interest a little. Don't be so unbearable, Jun Xiaoyao said indifferently. There were many people who said harsh words to him. But in the end, well, they all seemed to be very miserable. Seeing Wang Ting's spiritual body being easily defeated by Jun Xiaoyao, the quasi-supreme of the Wang family didn't look too good. After all, Wang Ting's spiritual body was once able to suppress some geniuses. In the end, he was defeated by Jun Xiaoyao in 2 or 3 moves. Even the quasi-supreme of the Wang family didn't like Jun Xiaoyao. He had to admit that Jun Xiaoyao was qualified to compete with the Wang family's young emperor. It looks like your Jiang family is going to reject my Wang family's goodwill? The quasi-supreme of the Wang family said coldly. Go back to where you came from. Forgive me for not accompanying you. Jun Xiaoyao's attitude was firm. Okay. There's only 9 wonders reincarnation immortal grasp. It's impossible for you to find a second one in a short time. Perhaps it won't be long before you hear the news of a Jiang family prime's death, the quasi-supreme of the Wang family said coldly. Humph. Jiang Daoshu took a step forward, and a terrifying Primes Divine might surged out. Puchi! The quasi-supreme of the Wang family took more than 10 steps back, and a mouthful of blood surged up his throat. The quasi-supreme of the Wang family looked at Jiang Daoshu with a pale complexion, feeling terrified. Although Jiang Daoshu was on the verge of decaying, his Primes Divine might was not something the quasi-supreme of the Wang family could provoke. The quasi-supreme of the Wang family was speechless, not daring to say anything else for fear that Jiang Daoshu would kill him if he said anything more. If that happened, he would suffer a great loss with no one to complain. The quasi-supreme of the Wang family turned around and hurriedly left with the Wang family's group, looking somewhat miserable. After the Wang family left, the tense atmosphere of the Jiang family relaxed. However, some of the Jiang family elders still had unsightly expressions. After all, the 9 Wonders reincarnation immortal grass could indeed save Jiang Daoshu's life. Jun Xiaoyao suddenly turned to Jiang Daoshu and cupped his hands deeply. "Grandfather, I'm sorry. It's all your grandson's recklessness. Not only did I cause the Jiang family and the Wang family to become unhappy, but I also caused you to lose the 9 Wonders reincarnation immortal grass." "No, that's not it. It's all Xing Yi's willfulness. It has nothing to do with Xiaoyao." Hearing Jun Xiaoyao take the blame, Jiang Xingyi stood up. Jiang Xingyi stepped out right away and walked to Jun Xiaoyao's side, intending to take the blame. "Big sister Xing Yi." Jun Xiaoyao did not know what to say. "Don't say any more. Xiaoyao, you stood up for me. I can't let you take the blame," Jiang Xingyi said firmly. She looked at Jun Xiaoyao with a trace of tenderness in her beautiful eyes. Seeing this pair protecting each other, some of the Jiang family members present had strange gazes. There was something wrong with these two. There was a story. Chapter 309. Anyone with a discerning eye could sense that Jiang Xingyi's attitude towards Jun Xiaoyao was slightly unusual. If they didn't know that Jiang Xingyi was Jun Xiaoyao's aunt, some would even treat them as Dao companions, because these two people were truly compatible. Of course, no one cared whether the situation was like this or not. After all, Jiang Xingyi was only Jun Xiaoyao's aunt in name. Moreover, although Jiang Xingyi and Jiang Ro called each other sisters, they were actually not biological sisters. Jiang Ro glanced at Jiang Xingyi with some confusion, and as if she thought of something, her beautiful eyes hid a trace of a mocking smile. "Xing Yi, this little b****, could it be that she has designs on my son?" Jiang Luoli's large eyes revealed even more suspicion. The more she thought about it, the more she felt that something was wrong. However, when she thought of Jiang Xingyi's identity, Jiang Luoli felt that this shouldn't be too possible. Looking at the mischievous smiles in the eyes of some Jiang family clansmen, Jiang Xingyi couldn't help but blush. Even her sparkling ears were dyed red, and the redness went all the way to her ears. Jiang Xingyi had an innate Dao embryo, and was usually as quiet as a virgin, as elegant and otherworldly as the moon fairy. When had she ever revealed such a shy expression? The eyes of some Jiang family young men were straight. As for Jiang Daoshu, he looked at the two of them and sighed slightly. "Xiaoyao, in your eyes, grandfather is such a selfish person?" "Of course not," Jun Xiaoyao replied. "Don't worry, Xiaoyao, grandfather will support you no matter what you do. Wang family wants to use my life to threaten you, don't even think about it." Jiang Daoshu's tone was very resolute. He would rather die than allow Jun Xiaoyao to be humiliated by Wang family. "Yes, young master, what you did was right, we all support you. The northern Wang family is nothing, our Jiang family doesn't fear them at all." The surrounding clansmen of the Jiang family all shouted in support of Jun Xiaoyao. Seeing this scene, even someone as cold as Jun Xiaoyao felt touched. This was his first time visiting the Jiang family, yet everyone in the Jiang family supported and trusted him so much. How could Jun Xiaoyao let down his mother's clan? He took a deep breath and asked, "Is it really impossible to find the 9 Wonders reincarnation immortal grass?" Jun Xiaoyao was determined to save Jiang Daoxu's life. In the end, if there was really no other way, he was determined to force the Wang family to hand over the Nine Wonders reincarnation immortal grass, even if he had to mobilize the power of the Jun family. Of course, this was an extreme method. Jun Xiaoyao wouldn't do that unless it was absolutely necessary. Jiang Daoxu would probably not agree to it either. The Jun family would clash with the Wang family of the north because of him. After all, the Jun family had already made enough enemies. If the Wang family of the north was added, the pressure would be even greater. At this moment, Huayuanxiu's eyes flashed, and he suddenly said, "I heard that the last news of the existence of the Nine Wonders reincarnation immortal grass seems to have come from the eternal burial ground. The Wang family's Nine Wonders reincarnation immortal grass seems to have been obtained from the eternal burial ground, by chance." Hua Yuanxiu's words made some of the Jiang family members' expressions change slightly. What kind of place was the eternal burial ground? It was definitely a forbidden place. Ordinary people didn't dare to mention it, fearing that they would encounter some kind of disaster. Jun Xiaoyao glanced at Hua Yuanxiu. Previously, he was slapped into a dog by Jun Xiaoyao, so he should have hated Jun Xiaoyao very much. Yet, he actually gave him the news now. This made Jun Xiaoyao think that there was something fishy about Hua Yuanxiu. However, Jun Xiaoyao still asked the Jiang family elders and the others for confirmation. Indeed, there was news of the Nine Wonders reincarnation immortal grass in the eternal burial ground, but it's not sure if it really exists, a Jiang family elder confirmed. On this point, Hua Yuanxiu didn't lie. Then why not go to the eternal burial ground to look for it? Jun Xiaoyao asked in confusion. If the Jiang family knew about the Nine Wonders reincarnation immortal grass, they would probably investigate and try their best to get it. However, the Jiang family didn't send anyone to the eternal burial ground. Young master, you may not know, but the eternal burial ground is a forbidden place. It is not in the 3,000 mystical states of the Huangtian mystic realm. There are all kinds of strange and terrifying things in it. The waters are very deep, a Jiang family elder said helplessly. Only then did Jun Xiaoyao understand. The eternal burial ground was probably similar to the 7 wonders of the mystic realm that he had heard before. They all represented some kind of great karma, great strangeness, and great terror. It was definitely not an existence that ordinary people could set foot in. A Jiang family elder continued to explain to Jun Xiaoyao. It turned out that if an expert with a high cultivation base entered the eternal burial ground, he would attract the attention of the terrifying creatures in the eternal burial ground. It was like a bright light in the darkness. It was too eye-catching and difficult to advance. As for those with a weak cultivation base, even if they could get close to the eternal burial ground, it would be difficult for them to go deep, because they didn't have the strength to survive. Therefore, as time passed, not many creatures in the mystic realm dared to go to the eternal burial ground. In addition, there were many strange legends in the eternal burial ground, as well as mysterious creatures in the eternal burial ground. That area had also become a forbidden land for ordinary people to avoid. After Jun Xiaoyao heard this, he finally understood why the Jiang family couldn't go deep into the eternal burial ground. Since it's difficult for those with a high cultivation base to go deep, and it's also difficult for those with a weak cultivation base to enter, why don't you let me go? Jun Xiaoyao said casually. As soon as he finished speaking, the system's voice sounded in his mind. Ding! Congratulations to the host. The new check-in location has been refreshed. Please check in at the eternal burial ground. When Jun Xiaoyao heard the system's notification, he was even more determined to go to the eternal burial ground. However, when they heard this, everyone's expression changed. Especially Jiang Daoxiu, Jiang Rou, Jiang Shengyi, Jiang Luoli, and the others, their expressions all changed. Xiaoyao, you can't go to such a dangerous place, Jiang Rou said directly. Xiaoyao, the eternal burial ground is too dangerous, Jiang Shengyi said. Brother Xiaoyao, you can't go to such a place. It's very scary there, Jiang Luoli also persuaded. Jiang Daoshu also said, Xiaoyao, I appreciate your kindness, but that place is too dangerous. Moreover, there might not really be the 9 wonders reincarnation immortal grasp. There's no need to go. Jun Xiaoyao's relatives firmly opposed. A cold light flashed in Hua Yuanxiu's eyes. Jun Xiaoyao's actions were exactly what he wanted. If Jun Xiaoyao died in the eternal burial ground, it couldn't be better for him. Grandfather, you still don't believe me? What can be difficult for me? Jun Xiaoyao smiled faintly. The eternal burial ground that ordinary people would turn pale at the mention of seemed to be nothing in Jun Xiaoyao's words. Xiaoyao, if you grow in the future, it's fine to go to the eternal burial ground. It's too early to go now. Jiang Daoshu shook his head. The current Jun Xiaoyao was the favorite of the Jun family and the Jiang family. If he died in the eternal burial ground, the consequences were unimaginable to the 2 clan of the ancient. Jiang Daoshu would rather lose his life than let Jun Xiaoyao take the risk. Grandfather, I've made up my mind. Mother, don't try to persuade me. Jun Xiaoyao, will definitely go to the eternal burial ground. Jun Xiaoyao's tone was firm and didn't allow any objection. So what if it was the eternal burial ground? He, Jun Xiaoyao, would go there too. Chapter 310. Jun Xiaoyao had been invincible in his generation since he was born. He had developed an invincible Tao heart and possessed great boldness. To him, where could he not go in the world? Jun Xiaoyao did not even fear the ancient burial ground, which was a place that would make anyone shudder at the mention of it. This was not the action of a brute, but Jun Xiaoyao had absolute confidence in himself. Jun Xiaoyao's aura also affected the others. This was the young master of the Jiang family, a peerless genius with an invincible boldness. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao's firm attitude, Jiang Rou and the others did not know what to say. Jiang Daoshu's old eyes revealed a touch of emotion. With such a grandson, even if he died now, he would have no regrets. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao's firm attitude, Jiang Daoshu did not try to persuade him anymore. Because if he did, it might affect Jun Xiaoyao's mentality instead. All right, Xiaoyao. Since your attitude is so firm, then don't worry and go. If something really happens to you in the eternal burial ground, Jiang Daoshu paused for a moment, and then he said with a cold tone, even if grandfather, I have to put my life on the line, I'll still turn the eternal burial grounds upside down. That's right. If the young master encounters danger in the eternal burial ground, our Jiang family will definitely not let it go. The other Jiang family elders also said coldly. If a clan of the ancients was truly angered, it was not something that anyone could bear. Even if it was as strange as the eternal burial ground, it would probably lose a layer of skin. That's right. Xiaoyao and the Jun family will definitely not sit by and watch you encounter danger, Jiang Rou said. One could imagine if something happened to Jun Xiaoyao in the eternal burial ground. The Jun family and Jiang family would probably go crazy and not turn a blind eye. If 2 of the clan of the ancients of the 3 Yu families joined forces to attack the eternal burial ground, how powerful would that be? The eternal burial ground would probably not be able to bear it and suffer great losses. This way, I can be even more at ease. Jun Xiaoyao smiled. He also knew that if he was trapped in the eternal burial ground, the Jun family and the Jiang family would definitely not sit idly by. The Jun family was a little apprehensive about the strangeness of the eternal burial ground, but that didn't mean that the Jun family was afraid of it. If they really wanted to fight, the Jun family wouldn't care so much. They might even destroy the eternal burial ground. Xiaoyao, this is all because of me. I'll go with you. Jiang Xingyi stood up and said in a firm tone. Yes, me too. Brother Xiaoyao, I want to go too. Jiang Luoli was not to be outdone. She also stood up. There's no need for that. I'll be fine on this trip alone. One more person means one more risk. Jun Xiaoyao waved his hand. Naturally, He couldn't let Jiang Xingyi and Jiang Luoli fall into danger. Don't get involved. I believe that Xiaoyao can do it, Jiang Ro said. Although she was a little worried about Jun Xiaoyao. However, this was Jun Xiaoyao's own decision. As a mother, she could only fully support it. This matter was settled. After Jun Xiaoyao adjusted himself in the Jiang family for a while, he would head to the eternal burial ground. Young master is indeed a bold person. A real man should be like that. Jiang Chuhan also sighed. Her beautiful eyes couldn't help but flow with extraordinary splendor. Indeed. However, heroes are short-tempered since ancient times. Those who can survive are the winners. Hua Yuanxiu smiled indifferently. Are you cursing the young master? Jiang Chuhan frowned. She increasingly felt that Hua Yuanxiu was narrow-minded and didn't have any courage at all. He was simply incomparable to Jun Xiaoyao. Of course not. I also hope that he can walk out safely. Hua Yuanxiu's eyes flashed with a trace of gloominess as he said in a dignified manner. However, in his heart, he was actually thinking that it would be best if Jun Xiaoyao didn't return. After this matter was confirmed, Jiang Daoxiu also issued an order. The Jiang family had to provide any resources that Jun Xiaoyao needed unconditionally. Of course, now that Jun Xiaoyao had become the Jiang family's young master, he was qualified to use any resources of the Jiang family. Jun Xiaoyao didn't stand on ceremony. He also asked the Jiang family to give him immortal sources. After knowing that Jun Xiaoyao needed immortal sources, the Jiang family almost emptied their treasury. They gave Jun Xiaoyao more than 3,000 immortal sources. Immortal sources were too rare. Even the clan of the ancients couldn't have too many in storage. 3,000 immortal sources was already a lot. However, to the current Jun Xiaoyao, it was just a drop in the bucket. He needed to consume a lot of immortal sources to refine the origin immortal bone. In the beginning, a few immortal sources might be enough to refine a origin immortal bone. However, now, he might need dozens or even hundreds of immortal sources to refine a single bone. The further he went, the more difficult it would be. Just as Jun Xiaoyao was immersed in cultivation, in a splendid palace in the Wang family's territory of the northern region, a middle-aged man in a purple python robe sat on a high seat with a gloomy face. His cultivation had also reached the quasi-supreme level. Below him stood another figure. It was the quasi-supreme of the Wang family who had rushed to the Jiang family. The Jiang family is too insensible. And that Jiang Xingyi, does she think that my son is not worthy of her? The man in the purple python robe was Wang Ting's father and the head of the Wang family, Wang Yuanba. Actually, it's mainly because of Jun Xiaoyao. If he didn't get involved, things wouldn't have turned out like this, the quasi-supreme of the Wang family said coldly. Humph, Jun Xiaoyao dared to destroy my son's spiritual body. How audacious! Wang Yuanba's eyes were cold. In his eyes, his son Wang Ting was invincible among the younger generation. He couldn't be offended. But Jun Xiaoyao was so audacious and reckless. Wang Yuanba felt a chill in his heart. At this moment, an elder of the Wang family suddenly came in and reported, "Head, there's news from the Jiang family. Jun Xiaoyao seems to be going to the eternal burial ground." What? Haha, the newborn calf is not afraid of the tiger. Wang Yuanba suddenly laughed. He didn't expect that Jun Xiaoyao would really dare to enter the eternal burial ground for a stalk of 9 wonders reincarnation immortal grass. That kid is courting death. The quasi-supreme of the Wang family also sneered. Spread this news. The legend of the son of God of the Jun family will probably end in the eternal burial ground, Wang Yuanba said loudly. The eternal burial ground was a very dangerous place. Once Jun Xiaoyao went in, he wouldn't be able to come out again. In the depths of the Wang family, in a spiritual land, Wang Ting's real body, who was in seclusion, also heard the news. He slowly opened his eyes. There seemed to be the sun and moon rotating in his eyes, and the scene of stars falling and dying appeared. Around him, there was a real dragon leaping into the sea, a divine phoenix spreading its wings, a black tortoise carrying the sky, and other powerful phenomena appearing. His aura was so powerful that it was terrifying. You dare to go to the eternal burial ground. Jun Xiaoyao, should I say that you are brave or stupid? The innate Taoist embryo is very useful for my breakthrough. Jun Xiaoyao, if you don't come back, I will gladly accept Jiang Xingyi. Wang Ting sneered. The space around him shook, and his aura was shocking. This woman, Jiang Xingyi, was his for sure. In just a few days, under the deliberate spread of the Wang family, the news that Jun Xiaoyao was going to enter the eternal burial ground spread completely. This made the Huangtian mystic realm boil. It was a complete mess. Chapter 3:11. What kind of place was the eternal burial ground? Everyone knew about it. That was definitely a land of death, a forbidden land. Not to mention getting close, most people didn't even dare to talk about it, afraid that they would encounter some kind of disaster. And now, Jun Xiaoyao was actually going to enter the eternal burial ground. This was like a huge rock falling into the sea, setting off huge waves. If one were to say that Jun Xiaoyao had completely matured and reached the level of a saint, then Jun Xiaoyao would have been a saint. Then it wouldn't be a big deal for him to enter the eternal burial ground. But now, Jun Xiaoyao was only in the heavenly reaching realm. Although Jun Xiaoyao was already at the top of the younger generation. But in a place like the eternal burial ground, a heavenly reaching realm cultivator was nothing. This was also the reason why everyone was shocked. Jun Xiaoyao's move was no different from courting death. What's wrong with the Jun family's son of God? He actually wants to go to a forbidden land like the eternal burial ground? Yeah, that kind of forbidden land, just talking about it is terrifying. Does the Jun family's son of God really want to die? I heard that the Jun family's son of God is going to the eternal burial ground to look for medicine for the Jiang family's big shot. I also heard that the Jun family's son of God seems to have become the young master of the Jiang family. The news of Jun Xiaoyao entering the eternal burial ground spread. There was also the matter of Jun Xiaoyao becoming the young master of the Jiang family. This naturally caused another commotion. Jun Xiaoyao's identity was already extremely noble. Now, he had even become the young master of the Jiang family. This meant that Jun Xiaoyao had really become the successor of the two clan of the ancients. Sigh, if I were Jun Xiaoyao, wouldn't it be better to cultivate peacefully? Why did he have to court death and go to the eternal burial ground? That's right. Jun Xiaoyao's journey has been smooth, and he has a chance to become an emperor in the future. Why take this risk? Many people couldn't understand. The son of God of the Jun family has always thought highly of himself. If he doesn't come back from the eternal burial ground, then it will be interesting. There were also a few creatures who spoke coldly, adopting the attitude of watching a play. Those who said this were mostly Jun Xiaoyao's enemies, such as the Archean royalty, fallen god palace, and other powers. If he really can't come back, then forget it. Even if Jun Xiaoyao can come back, if he misses the opening of the immortal ancient world, then he will fall behind others. That's right. One wrong step leads to many wrong steps. If we miss the immortal ancient world, Jun Xiaoyao will be completely overtaken by the other geniuses. I'm afraid Jun Xiaoyao's invincibility among the younger generation is about to come to an end. Many people in the immortal realms were discussing, feeling that Jun Xiaoyao had taken the wrong step. Zulong, inside a golden dragon palace floating in the sky. Princess Longji sat on the golden dragon throne. When she heard the news, her beautiful eyes were filled with uncertainty. Jun Xiaoyao, you'd better not die in the eternal burial ground. Otherwise, who am I going to take my revenge on? Princess Longji raised her jade-like hand, her 5 jade-like fingers spread open. A drop of golden blood with a tinge of green floated in the air. An incomparably terrifying fluctuation was emitted from this drop of blood. The surrounding void was shaking and trembling, as if it couldn't withstand the power of this drop of blood. This drop of blood was the blood of the ancient emperor of the Azure Dragon. In other words, this was equivalent to a drop of the Motherf King Human King's blood. Although it was only a drop of blood, this amount of energy was definitely not something an ordinary person could withstand. Previously, Princess Longji wasn't confident that she could refine this drop of ancient emperor of the Azure Dragon's blood, so she kept it. But now, the humiliation of losing to Jun Xiaoyao made her determined to refine this drop of ancient emperor of the Azure Dragon's blood. Your Highness, with your current cultivation, refining this drop of ancient emperor of the Azure Dragon's blood is too impulsive. The Azure Dragon General advised. I can't wait any longer. The immortal ancient world is about to open. I will use this chance to surpass everyone and ascend to the peak. There is also Jun Xiaoyao. If he can come out of the eternal burial ground alive, I will personally wash away this humiliation. Princess Longji's tone was resolute. On the other side, the Ji family, within a valley spirit vein. Ji Qingyi sat cross-legged on a green lotus, her crystal-like eyes deep in thought. Eternal burial ground, Taoist brother Xiaoyao, can you come out alive? Ji Qingyi muttered to herself. If Jun Xiaoyao could come out of the eternal burial ground alive, that would be an impossible miracle. Celestial Demon Cult, Celestial Demon Castle. Xiao Maxian also learned of this news. As expected of little brother Xiaoyao. You are so brave. I hope you can come back alive. When we are in the immortal ancient world, I can test little brother Xiaoyao's strengths and weaknesses. Xiao Maxian giggled to herself. All in all, the major forces of the Huangtian mystic realm had different attitudes towards Jun Xiaoyao entering the eternal burial ground. Some were worried, some were watching the show, some were mocking, and some were cursing his death. This news naturally reached the Jun family as well. The sequences of the Jun family were a little worried. Jun Linglong, Jun Inger, Yan Qingying, and the other girls were also very worried. They had unconditional trust in Jun Xiaoyao, believing that he could overcome all difficulties. But the eternal burial ground was indeed beyond their imagination. In the depths of the Jun family's ancestral land, the 18th ancestor and the 16th ancestor were talking. That little old man of the Jiang family is really something. He's half dead and still wants Xiaoyao to take risks to find the grass of immortality. The 16th ancestor snorted. He had the appearance of a 10-year-old child, and his eyes were full of vicissitudes of life. Just treat this as a trial for Xiaoyao. Although the eternal burial ground is very strange, if he dares to provoke the Jun family, humph. The 18th ancestor narrowed his eyes slightly. If the Jun family was angry, they would not care so much. No matter the price, they would destroy the eternal burial ground. His subordinates should be in the eternal burial ground, right? The 16th ancestor suddenly said something that was somewhat inexplicable. Yes, there seems to be one. The 18th ancestor nodded. Then Xiaoyao should be even less of a problem. The 16th ancestor's eyes were deep as he looked in the direction of the eternal burial ground. His subordinates would not let anything happen to Jun Xiaoyao. Just as the entire Huangtian mystic realm was stirred up by the news of Jun Xiaoyao entering the eternal burial ground. Jun Xiaoyao himself was very comfortable. He stayed in a luxurious bedroom that the Jiang family had specially prepared for him to cultivate. The entire bedroom was built on a huge spirit vein, and billowing spiritual energy filled the air. Inside the bedroom, in Jun Xiaoyao's hand, the last piece of celestial source turned transparent and then turned into ashes. Jun Xiaoyao slowly opened his eyes. 160 pieces. Jun Xiaoyao muttered to himself. After refining 3,000 low-grade celestial sources, Jun Xiaoyao had only refined 20 Daluo immortal bones. In addition to the previous ones, he had a total of 160 pieces. This Daluo immortal body was really difficult to cultivate the further one progressed. The resources consumed were simply terrifying. I hope that when I return from the eternal burial ground, I can catch up with the immortal ancient world. Otherwise, it will be a big loss. Jun Xiaoyao shook his head and smiled. At this time, a delicate and gentle voice came from outside the bedroom. Xiaoyao, am I disturbing you? It was Jiang Xingyi's voice. Chapter 312. Sister Xingyi, please come in, Jun Xiaoyao said. Jiang Xingyi walked in from outside the bedroom. She was still wearing her usual snow-white robe, and her face was still beautiful. Her eyebrows were curved, her eyes were like autumn water, her lips were bright red, and her teeth were sparkling. Her delicate body was flawless, and she had a graceful bearing. Her pure white jade-like body was tall and slender, and she was like a snow lotus that stood alone in the world. The innate Taoist fetus made Jiang Xingyi's beauty even more ethereal, spiritual, and otherworldly, and untainted by the mortal world. Such a woman was rare in the world. Even a straight man like Jun Xiaoyao, who didn't care much about women, couldn't help but sigh. Jiang Xingyi was indeed a rare beauty. But Jun Xiaoyao felt a headache when he thought about their complicated relationship. Xiaoyao, Jiang Xingyi opened her mouth and was about to say something. Jun Xiaoyao waved his hand and said, Sister Xingyi, if you're here to thank me, you don't have to. There's no need to be so distant between us. Hearing this, Jiang Xingyi was silent. She did want to thank Jun Xiaoyao for what he had done for her. Jun Xiaoyao was even willing to go to an extremely dangerous place like the Aeon burial ground. The origin of all this was just to prevent her from marrying the Wang family's young emperor. Jiang Xingyi was full of guilt when she thought about how Jun Xiaoyao was in danger because of her. She would rather it was herself who went to the Aeon burial ground. Sister Xingyi, is there anything else? Jun Xiaoyao asked. Xiaoyao, when are you going to leave? Jiang Xingyi asked. Tomorrow, Jun Xiaoyao said. He had already refined the 3,000 immortal sources, and there was no need to delay. Moreover, the opening of the immortal ancient world was not far away. Jun Xiaoyao did not want to delay the opportunity of the immortal ancient world because of the eternal burial ground. So fast. Xiaoyao, I heard that you like to take baths? Jiang Xingyi suddenly asked. Okay. Jun Xiaoyao nodded. There's a 10,000-year spirit spring in the cave where I cultivate in seclusion. Usually, I'm the only one who uses it. If you don't mind, let me take you there, Jiang Xingyi said. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes lit up. It would be nice to relax a little before leaving. However, it seemed to be Jiang Xingyi's private hot spring. It was a little. Jiang Xingyi's sparkling and translucent snow-white face revealed a faint blush. She said in a soft voice, Xiaoyao, let me help you bathe this time. This. Jun Xiaoyao was speechless. It seemed a little inappropriate to let a celestial concubine like little aunt serve him. He wanted to say that there was no need, but he felt that this was too hypocritical. It was better for men to be more realistic. In the end, Jiang Xingyi brought Jun Xiaoyao to her place of seclusion. Sure enough, there was a spring inside. It was dense with spiritual energy and steaming hot. Jun Xiaoyao took off the clothes on his upper body and sank into the spring. He only felt infinitely comfortable. He turned his head and found that Jiang Xingyi had taken off her outer clothes. She was only wearing her underwear. It vaguely outlined her hazy and beautiful curve. Her jade-like hands were pressed on Jun Xiaoyao's shoulders, massaging him. Jun Xiaoyao was also happy to enjoy it. He found that there was a faint fragrance coming from the mouth of the spirit spring. Smelling it carefully, he found that it was the same as Jiang Xingyi's body fragrance. It had a fresh and elegant smell. Nothing indescribable happened between the two of them. A wave of warmth silently flowed. After a long time, Jun Xiaoyao actually fell asleep. Jiang Xingyi knelt on the ground and put Jun Xiaoyao's head on her lap. Her jade-like hands traced the contours of Jun Xiaoyao's face when he was sleeping. He was clearly asleep, but Jun Xiaoyao's brows were still slightly furrowed. Seeing this, Jiang Xingyi felt an inexplicable heartache in her heart. The world only knew that Jun Xiaoyao was invincible. But they didn't know how much pressure he was under and how much weight he was carrying. Xiaoyao, thank you. Jiang Shengyi lowered her head and pressed her red lips on Jun Xiaoyao's forehead like a dragonfly touching the surface of the water. This kiss was not mixed with any distracting thoughts. After a long time, Jun Xiaoyao opened his eyes and found that Jiang Shengyi's beautiful eyes were staring at his face, and his head was resting on her soft lap. This is a knee pillow? Jun Xiaoyao was slightly taken aback. In both his previous and current lives, this was the first time he had received such VIP treatment. Jiang Shengyi looked away somewhat guiltily, her jade-like cheeks slightly red. Just now, when she looked at Jun Xiaoyao's sleeping handsome face, she was a little entranced. Although Jiang Shengyi wasn't a good-looking person like Jiang Luoli. But who wouldn't want to look at a good-looking face a few more times? Xiaoyao, you're awake, Jiang Shengyi said softly. Sister Shengyi, thank you. Jun Xiaoyao got up. He wasn't the kind of person who was greedy for gentleness. But this kind of concern did make him feel very comfortable. At least Jiang Luoli wasn't so gentle. If Jiang Luoli was a playful and cute loli, Jiang Shengyi was a gentle big sister next door. Their personalities were completely different. Can't I go with you? Jiang Shengyi still wanted to accompany Jun Xiaoyao. No need. Sister Shengyi, don't you trust me? Jun Xiaoyao declined with a smile. Xiaoyao, I'll wait for you to come back, Jiang Shengyi said softly. Okay. Jun Xiaoyao nodded. Jiang Shengyi blushed slightly, as if she had thought of something. Her voice was as soft as a mosquito's buzz. When you come back, Xiaoyao, I'll let you do something more comfortable. Something more comfortable? Jun Xiaoyao's eyes revealed a strange look. There was something in these words. The heartwarming night was over. The next day, Jun Xiaoyao left the Jiang residence under the gazes of Jiang Daoxiu, Jiang Rou, and a group of Jiang family members. He rode on a flying boat and crossed the void. Jun Xiaoyao could feel that there were many eyes secretly following him. Do you all want to watch the show? Jun Xiaoyao sneered. The Jiang family should have completely blocked the news of him going to the eternal burial ground. The Jiang family shouldn't have spread the news casually. But in the end, it was still leaked, and it even spread in the Huangtian mystic realm. Obviously, someone was adding fuel to the fire in the dark. If Jun Xiaoyao really encountered an accident, the entire mystic realm would know immediately. The Jiang family shouldn't have spread the news casually. Could it be Hua Yuanxiu? Jun Xiaoyao thought about it and could only think of Hua Yuanxiu. He might have secretly leaked the news, and this news could spread so widely in such a short time. Obviously, there was a force behind Hua Yuanxiu. As for what force it was, Jun Xiaoyao had already guessed it. The Wang family is really bold to dare to plant a pawn in the Jiang family. When I return from the eternal burial ground, I'll destroy this Hua Yuanxiu. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes revealed a cold light. Now was not the time to kill Hua Yuanxiu. Moreover, he was Jiang Chuhan's fiancé. Under the circumstances where there was no evidence, killing Hua Yuanxiu rashly was a little unreasonable. Moreover, he would also quibble. In the future, when Hua Yuanxiu exposed himself, he would directly destroy him. At the same time, he could also extort a sum of money from the Wang family and make them bleed. However, this was all in the future. Jun Xiaoyao only needed to focus on the eternal burial ground and find the 9 wonders reincarnation immortal grasp. Let me, the Son of God, see what secrets there are in the eternal burial ground. Jun Xiaoyao stood in the wind and looked into the distance. Chapter 3:13. The eternal burial ground was a famous forbidden land in the mystic realm. It was not located in any of the 3,000 mystical states. Instead, it was an independent space outside the 3,000 mystical states. One could head to the eternal burial ground from the barbarian state in the far west. Jun Xiaoyao did not stop along the way. He passed through many teleportation formations and began to head to the barbarian state. As for those who were secretly watching, Jun Xiaoyao did not care about them. Now in the Huangtian mystic realm, no one dared to attack Jun Xiaoyao openly. Moreover, Jun Xiaoyao was about to head to the eternal burial ground. No one would do anything to harm Jun Xiaoyao at a time like this, because in their eyes, the eternal burial ground was the place where Jun Xiaoyao was buried. Therefore, those who were secretly watching wanted to see if Jun Xiaoyao would really head to the eternal burial ground. Or was it just a feint? Because the barbarian state was located in the far west, Jun Xiaoyao took nearly half a month to reach this place. The entire barbarian state was desolate and barren. Because it was close to the eternal burial ground, there were almost no forces or creatures stationed here for a long time. Most of the people who came to the barbarian state were fugitives, treasure hunters, gold hunters, and so on. Because it was close to the eternal burial ground, there would occasionally be various treasures and ancient scriptures appearing, attracting many people to fight over them. After Jun Xiaoyao stepped into the barbarian state, he headed directly to the border. Along the way, he naturally attracted the attention of many people. That is the Jun family's son of God. What is he doing in the barbarian state? Haven't you heard the news? The Jun family's son of God is going to enter the eternal burial ground? What? The Jun family's son of God doesn't want to live anymore? Some treasure hunters' eyes almost popped out when they heard this news. They said they were searching for treasures, but they were actually very far from the eternal burial ground and only moved around the border. Jun Xiaoyao was really going to enter the eternal burial ground. These were two completely different things. My goodness, the son of God of the Jun family is a ferocious person. If he can come out alive, then it's simply. Many people were curious and followed behind Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao did not mind. Finally, a day later, Jun Xiaoyao's flying boat stopped in the void. He looked into the distance and frowned slightly. As far as the eye could see, it seemed to be a chaotic space. It was like another world. A pitch-black wind blew through the void, causing spatial cracks to appear from time to time. A pitch-black region could be vaguely seen in the depths of the void. The surroundings were shrouded in black fog, making it hard to see clearly. It was clearly daytime, but the vast and boundless area was dark. The sound of the chilly wind was like the wailing of ghosts and gods. Disregarding everything else, just this atmosphere alone was enough to make people retreat. If they were timid, they might even pee in their pants. Is that the eternal burial ground? Jun Xiaoyao murmured. That's just a corner of the eternal burial ground. The entire eternal burial ground is incomparably vast and borders many immortal realms. At this moment, a beautiful figure in gray appeared in the void. It was Audiobook. She explained to Jun Xiaoyao. Interesting. I'm getting more and more curious. Jun Xiaoyao smiled. Jun Xiaoyao remained extremely calm when faced with the ancient burial ground, a place that would frighten most people. He was even curious about it. Young master, with Audio's strength, if she enters the eternal burial ground, she will attract the attention of some important people. In order not to hinder you from finding the 9 Wonders reincarnation immortal grass, Audiobook can only stay outside, Audiobook said. It was not that she was unwilling to protect Jun Xiaoyao in the eternal burial ground. But if she accompanied Jun Xiaoyao in, she would immediately attract the attention of many powerful beings in the eternal burial ground. Naturally, Jun Xiaoyao would not be at ease to search for the 9 Wonders reincarnation immortal grass. I was planning to go alone. Jun Xiaoyao smiled and did not mind. If young master encounters any danger in the eternal burial ground, Audiobook will be the first to sense it. When that happens, Audiobook will definitely enter the eternal burial ground and protect young master with her life. Audiobook's voice was calm, but there was an unquestionable attitude. Clearly, even the dangerous eternal burial ground could not stop Audiobook from protecting Jun Xiaoyao. Thank you, Jun Xiaoyao said sincerely. Although he knew that Audiobook was protecting him like this for the sake of his father, Jun Wuhui's face. However, Jun Xiaoyao would let Audiobook know. He was worth following. Jun Xiaoyao did not hesitate and directly stepped into the eternal burial ground. Audiobook stared at Jun Xiaoyao's figure as it gradually disappeared in the cold wind. She looked at the eternal burial ground in the distance with a trace of absent-mindedness in her eyes. There is a wisp of Master's aura in the eternal burial ground. And him, is he still guarding the eternal burial ground? Audiobook was a little absent-minded as she thought of many memories of the past. The 8 divine kings intimidated the immortal realm and made all heroes retreat. As for the people who were watching in the dark from afar, after seeing Jun Xiaoyao truly enter the ancient burial ground, they all sighed. Some admired, some praised, some watched the show, some cursed, and some heaved a sigh of relief. Everyone present knew. If Jun Xiaoyao did not walk out of the eternal burial ground, it meant that this era had lost an invincible expert who stood at the peak. And if Jun Xiaoyao walked out in the end, then Jun Xiaoyao's invincible legend would probably climb to an even higher peak. It would reach a height that was difficult for the younger generation to reach. Just as everyone in the outside world had different thoughts about Jun Xiaoyao's choice, Jun Xiaoyao was focused on the present. Endless chilly winds blew from the depths of the unknown void. Just a wisp was enough to easily tear apart the body of a divine fire realm expert. Jun Xiaoyao's divine soul perception was extremely sharp and could avoid many dangers in advance. However, even so, Jun Xiaoyao was not a god. It was impossible for him to avoid all dangers. For example, right now there were 3 gusts of cold wind blowing from all directions, sealing the space around Jun Xiaoyao. In this kind of hopeless situation, even a divine fire realm expert would die. Jun Xiaoyao's expression was still calm. He waved one hand and an ancient armor appeared, protecting his body. Those cold winds blew on the ancient armor, causing it to burst forth with countless ancient and profound talisman markings. This ancient armor was a protective treasure that his grandfather, Jiang Daoxiu, gave him. One could imagine how rare and powerful a treasure given by a supreme exalt was. Moreover, this wasn't all that Jiang Daoxiu gave him. Since Jun Xiaoyao had entered the burial ground, Jiang Daoxiu naturally had to give anything good to Jun Xiaoyao to protect him. Finally, under the protection of this ancient armor, Jun Xiaoyao charged out of this area of cold wind, and his feet finally landed on the ground. Looking over, even Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flashed with a wisp of surprise. This was a vast and boundless graveyard. The ground was paved with ghastly white bones. The bones of unknown enormous beasts were like hills that rose up. This was a deathly silent land that no living person could enter. It was extremely terrifying, and there was strangeness everywhere. Jun Xiaoyao could even feel that this world was filled with the aura of death. It didn't seem like a place where living beings lived at all. Even the exuberant qi and blood of his sacred body of the ancients found it difficult to fuse with the aura of this world. So, this is the burial ground at the periphery of the ancient burial ground? Jun Xiaoyao mumbled. The periphery of the eternal burial ground was a circle of burial grounds that contained endless danger. At this moment, a system notification sounded in Jun Xiaoyao's mind. Ding! Congratulations to the host. You have arrived at the check-in location, the eternal burial ground. Do you wish to sign in? Sign in. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes lit up. He was very curious. What good things could he sign in this eternal burial ground? Chapter 314. Ding! Congratulations to host. Sign in for 6-star reward, magic power immunity. As the system notification sounded, Jun Xiaoyao was able to sense that some sort of power had been added to his body. Magic power immunity? Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flashed with a strange look. He suddenly stretched out his hand and used his finger as a sword. A wisp of magic power gushed out and pointed at himself. However, a strange scene happened. That strand of magic power sword light was annihilated and disappeared without a trace. It was as if it had never appeared. A stream of information flowed into Jun Xiaoyao's mind. He also understood the meaning of magic power immunity. This wasn't a magical technique, but a special ability. It was immune to all magic power attacks. Of course, this immunity had its limitations. It could only work to a certain extent and range. For example, if a supreme being attacked, even if Jun Xiaoyao had magic power immunity, he wouldn't be able to block a single move from the supreme being. Next, Jun Xiaoyao experimented again. He used the 6 paths of reincarnation fist to attack himself. But in the first round, he was also completely immune. The 6 paths of reincarnation fist was extremely powerful. It was one of Jun Xiaoyao's trump cards. In the end, his magic power immunity was actually completely immune to this powerful force. It was shocking. Next, Jun Xiaoyao used the Human King Seal, the combatant technique, the Spear of the Heavenly God, and other magical techniques. They were continuously neutralized by the magic power immunity. In the end, Jun Xiaoyao used the Immortal Slaying Sword technique again. Only then did the magic power immunity finally lose its effect and was broken. And how many moves did he use in between? One could only imagine what it would be like if Jun Xiaoyao were to bring out an ability like magical immunity when fighting an enemy. The enemy would definitely be confused and wouldn't understand what happened. This ability was very rare, even in the entire celestial realm. Ordinary people definitely wouldn't encounter it. Interesting. Although this magic power immunity isn't absolutely invincible now, it will have an unexpected effect in battle. Jun Xiaoyao was very satisfied with this sign-in, and he also learned from the information flow in his mind. This magic power immunity could increase as Jun Xiaoyao's strength level increased. At that time, would the magic immunity truly become invulnerable to all spells? If Jun Xiaoyao could really cultivate it to the level of invulnerability, it would be heaven-defying. It would make him invincible. If the outside world were to find out about this heaven-defying ability, it would definitely cause a huge commotion. Good stuff. Jun Xiaoyao sighed. The system wanted him to go down the path of invincibility and never return. After making some adjustments, Jun Xiaoyao continued on his journey. With a heaven-defying ability like magic immunity, his journey to the eternal burial ground this time was much more stable. Jun Xiaoyao continued to move forward in this burial ground. Along the way, Jun Xiaoyao encountered some peculiar skeletal beings. Calling them creatures wasn't right because they were like wild beasts. They were completely intelligent and their forms were all different. There were ox-shaped, wolf-shaped, and human-shaped. Jun Xiaoyao made his move and used them to test his magical immunity. Then, he found that these skeletal beings seemed to be using a kind of death energy. Of course, this energy was similar to magic power, except that it was filled with a thick death energy. Obviously, this death energy was related to the laws of heaven and earth of the eternal burial ground. However, the magic power immunity was still effective. Jun Xiaoyao killed these skeletal beings with a flick of his finger. However, Jun Xiaoyao also encountered some skeletal creatures that were so powerful that they were frighteningly powerful. For example, there was a skeletal heavenly beast. Its white wings were like clouds hanging in the sky, and it was like a floating fortress. Its aura had definitely reached the Holy Lord level. There was also a skeletal giant that was tens of thousands of feet tall and towered into the dark clouds. Its aura had reached the quasi-supreme level. Facing these existences, Jun Xiaoyao withdrew his vitality and blood and left directly. He finally understood why Audiobook didn't follow him in. With Audiobook's powerful vitality, he would probably be discovered by the powerful skeletal beings of the burial ground before he could truly enter the eternal burial ground. After a few days, Jun Xiaoyao finally walked out of the burial ground. He had finally set foot on the eternal burial ground. As far as the eye could see, it was a black land. The atmosphere was still terrifying, and the world was still mixed with a thick death energy. Jun Xiaoyao's vitality was simply incompatible with this world. No wonder the eternal burial ground is known as a forbidden area for living beings. This is simply not a place for humans to stay, Jun Xiaoyao said to himself. Even with the powerful vitality of his sacred body of the ancients, he still felt a little uncomfortable. Not to mention the ordinary people. Those geniuses would most likely feel extremely uncomfortable just by standing here, and would gradually grow weaker. Only Jun Xiaoyao's sacred body of the ancients could withstand the death energy between heaven and earth. Where should I go? I have no clue. Jun Xiaoyao sighed. The eternal burial ground was very mysterious to the outside world. Therefore, there were not many records, let alone detailed information. Jun Xiaoyao could only take one step at a time. Just as Jun Xiaoyao was moving forward aimlessly, in the sky hundreds of miles away from Jun Xiaoyao, a giant skeletal bird flew across the sky. A group of humanoid beings stood on the giant skeletal bird. In the center was a pair of sisters who looked 80% similar. Both of them wore moon-white robes and had exquisite facial features. They were very beautiful. At first glance, they looked no different from ordinary human girls. However, if one looked carefully, one would find that the sisters' skin was as white as ice and as white as snow. They were abnormally pale and did not have a trace of the rosy complexion of a living person. There was also a strong death energy in their bodies. Especially the younger sister, the death energy in her body was so strong that it was about to overflow. Xiao Shui, we will be able to reach the Yin-Yang Soul Pond in 2 days. At that time, with the help of Brother Guqi, it won't be a problem to help you get a Yin-Yang divine fruit. The older sister looked at the younger sister with concern. The younger sister smiled slightly, but her face was even paler. On the side, the creature named Guqi was a young man. His appearance was just passable. With a hooked nose, he looked a little gloomy. He looked at the sisters and said with a smile, "Song Yu, don't worry. With my help, I will definitely help Song Shui get the Yin-Yang divine fruit." Hearing Guqi's words, the older sister Song Yu smiled faintly. Guqi's strength was enough to rank in the top 10 among the younger generation in the Dark Nether territory. With Guqi's help this time, it should not be a big problem to get a Yin-Yang divine fruit. On the side, there were several elders from the same family as the sisters, Song Yu and Song Shui. There was a touch of worry on their faces. The competition for the Yin-Yang Soul Pond this time seemed to be fierce. At this moment, all the living beings on the giant skeletal bird felt a boundless vitality in the distance. What is that? What a strong vitality! Could it be that a natural treasure with vitality has appeared? An elder's eyes were filled with surprise. A hint of joy flashed across Song Yu's beautiful blue eyes. If they could get a natural treasure with vitality, it might be able to slow down Song Shui's symptoms. Let's go and have a look. The giant skeletal bird flapped its wings and flew forward. At the same time, Jun Xiaoyao suddenly stopped. He sensed a majestic aura of death moving towards him from afar. Could it be a creature from the burial ground? Jun Xiaoyao looked into the distance. Chapter 3:15. In the gloomy sky of the burial ground, a gigantic skeletal bird flapped its wings and flew over, casting a shadow over the ground. Jun Xiaoyao stood on the spot with his hands behind his back and looked at the giant skeleton bird. Ordinary people would probably panic when they saw this scene. However, Jun Xiaoyao's expression was calm. In any case, he would encounter the living beings of the burial ground sooner or later. He might as well come into contact with them in advance so that he could have a rough understanding of the eternal burial ground. The giant skeleton bird landed, and a group of humanoid living beings stood on it. When Song Yu and the others saw Jun Xiaoyao, their faces were filled with unprecedented surprise. It's a human, a living human? Song Yu, Gu Dai, and the others were extremely shocked. They had thought that some kind of heavenly material earthly treasure that contained the essence of life had appeared. That was because the vigorous life force was too vigorous. Song Yu also did not expect that the thing that contained such vigorous life force was actually a human. A living being from the outside world? An old man sized up Jun Xiaoyao. Each of their faces were filled with extreme shock, as if they were looking at an animal in a zoo. Jun Xiaoyao was also sizing them up at the same time. This group of humanoid living beings had pale skin that did not look like the skin of a living person. Their bodies were lifeless. If Jun Xiaoyao closed his eyes, he would not even be able to feel their breathing or heat. They were like cold corpses. However, they were like ordinary living beings. They could move, live, and cultivate. That piqued Jun Xiaoyao's curiosity. This world was indeed full of strange things. However, when he thought of the heaven and earth laws of the eternal burial ground, the birth of such living beings in the burial ground did not seem to be something incomprehensible. "Are you from the outside world?" Song Yu asked. She looked at Jun Xiaoyao's face and was a little surprised. Ever since she was born in the burial ground, she had never seen such a good-looking person. Most of the living beings in the burial ground were extremely ugly and strange. They were like the scene of a car accident that was unbearable to look at. Beautiful girls like Tsang Yu and Tsang Shui were already considered rare. Even someone like Gu Dai, whose appearance could only be said to be passable, was considered a handsome man in the burial earth. From this, it could be seen how much shock and surprise Jun Xiaoyao's appearance brought to Tsang Yu and the others. Those who had never seen the sea would not know how vast it was. Those who had never seen Jun Xiaoyao would not know what it meant to be handsome. Not only Tsang Yu, even her younger sister Tsang Shui was stunned. As for Gu Ying, her eyes involuntarily revealed a trace of jealousy. Hearing Tsang Yu's question, Jun Xiaoyao nodded faintly. "I did enter from the immortal domain. You're only in the reaching heaven state, but you were able to enter the burial ground." Tsang Yu found it hard to believe. In her eyes, Jun Xiaoyao's cultivation was a little low. Jun Xiaoyao also probed that the strength of this pair of beautiful sisters in front of him actually reached the divine fire realm. There was also that young man at the side who had even reached the late stage of the divine flame realm. Jun Xiaoyao's cultivation level was already at the top of the younger generation of the Huangtian immortal domain. Apart from those ancient freaks who had yet to be born, the remains of the great emperors, and the young sons of the ancient emperors, his cultivation level was the highest. And in the burial ground, some of the young creatures he casually encountered in the burial ground were actually higher than his cultivation level. However, Jun Xiaoyao had heard that those seemingly young creatures in the burial ground might have been buried in the ground for hundreds or thousands of years. Therefore, it was reasonable for their cultivation level to be higher. As for those few old men, they were in the void god and true god realm. "Did you accidentally enter the burial ground?" Song Yu continued to ask. This was the first time they had encountered someone outside the burial ground, so they were a little curious. Seeing that Song Yu did not seem to be too hostile, Jun Xiaoyao was also a little surprised. He had thought that the creatures in the eternal burial ground were all fierce and evil, the kind that would kill the creatures of the outside world when they saw them. "I deliberately entered to find the 9 Wonders reincarnation immortal grass." As Jun Xiaoyao spoke, he stared at Song Yu and the others' faces. If they knew about the 9 Wonders reincarnation immortal grass, they would definitely have a reaction. However, to Jun Xiaoyao's disappointment, Song Yu and the others shook their heads in confusion. It seemed that Song Yu and the others' levels were still too low to come into contact with such rare things. Jun Xiaoyao was not discouraged. He did not expect to find it immediately. At this moment, Gu Dai said unhappily, "You're only in the heaven ascension state, but you came to the eternal burial ground. You really don't know how to write the word death." Gu Dai had some thoughts about the sisters, Tsang Yu and Tsang Shui. Jun Xiaoyao's appearance naturally made him feel a sense of crisis. Jun Xiaoyao glanced at Gu Dai indifferently. Did he think that he would be interested in corpses? Although Tsang Yu and Tsang Shui were beautiful girls, they were still dug out from the ground. Jun Xiaoyao did not have such a strong taste. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao's contempt for him, Gu Dai's eyes became even colder. To be honest, when he saw Jun Xiaoyao, Gu Dai really wanted to refine Jun Xiaoyao. The majestic qi and blood made Gu Dai's heart skip a beat. In the eternal burial ground, things with vitality were very rare. To a certain extent, Jun Xiaoyao's sacred body of the ancients was the thing with the most vitality. Song Yu thought of that as well and told Jun Xiaoyao about it. Do you mean that I'm now a piece of meat in the eternal burial ground and everyone wants to take a bite? Jun Xiaoyao said. Song Yu was puzzled. She did not know what Tang Xing meant. Don't you want to treat me as a tonic? Besides, there seems to be something wrong with her body. Jun Xiaoyao smiled meaningfully and looked at Song Shui. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao's gaze on her, Song Shui's delicate body leaned against Song Yu. Her big blue eyes were timid and curious. Hearing Jun Xiaoyao point out Song Shui's physical condition, Song Yu also understood that this young master from the outside world seemed to have some skills. An idea suddenly flashed through her mind and she said, "Of course we won't do anything to you. However, there are indeed many creatures in the eternal burial ground who are xenophobic. They might cause trouble for you." So? Jun Xiaoyao asked. He vaguely guessed that Song Yu seemed to have some thoughts about him. Of course, it was not some strange thoughts. It was an idea to use. But it just so happened that Jun Xiaoyao also wanted to use Song Yu to gain a preliminary understanding of the eternal burial ground. So, you need to hide and transform the majestic qi in your body. Coincidentally, I have a way. Song Yu's blue eyes flickered. What way? Jun Xiaoyao smiled. Yin-yang divine fruit, Song Yu said. The yin-yang divine fruit? Jun Xiaoyao murmured. Then Song Yu explained to him that the yin-yang divine fruit had the ability to transform his qi into death qi. In this way, Jun Xiaoyao could perfectly blend into the eternal burial ground and concentrate on finding his target without being disturbed by the creatures in the eternal burial ground. And this time, Song Yu and the others happened to be going to the Yin and Yang Soul Pond to compete for the yin-yang divine fruit. It had to be said that this was indeed what Jun Xiaoyao needed at the moment. Otherwise, it would be troublesome if the creatures in the eternal burial ground harassed him. Young master, how's your strength? Song Yu asked casually. Not bad. Just barely. I'm invincible among my peers, Jun Xiaoyao said truthfully. There was no falsehood in his words. However, hearing this, Gu Dai and Song Yu were slightly stunned. Song Yu didn't show any abnormality. On the contrary, Gu Dai couldn't help but laugh. Haha, you're only in the reaching heaven state. How dare you say that you're invincible among your peers? This is the despicable creatures from the outside world, Gu Dai said sarcastically. However, as soon as he finished speaking, his vision turned black. A huge slap landed on his face with an incomparably heavy force. A loud bang was heard. Half of Gu Dai's face was slapped away. His cheekbones collapsed and shattered, and the death qi sizzled out. He spun 360 degrees on the spot and then fell to the ground with a bang. At the end of the phone, remember Train of Thought Chinese Network, in 1 second to provide you with wonderful novels to read. All the bones in his body seemed to have been shattered, making cracking sounds. You're just a living corpse. Do you really think you're that important? Jun Xiaoyao's tone was indifferent and his expression was condescending. He retracted his palm. He didn't have any scruples or restraint just because he had come to the eternal burial ground. He was still domineering when he should be. He was still arrogant when he should be. Chapter 316. Jun Xiaoyao had developed an invincible Dao heart. No matter where he was, it was impossible for him to suppress himself and keep a low profile. Gu Dai was completely dumbfounded. He fell to the ground and did not come back to his senses at all. His entire body felt as if it had fallen apart, as if he had been crushed to the ground by an ancient giant elephant. Half of Gu Dai's cheeks had collapsed, and his cheekbones were shattered. He looked even uglier. Ah! My face, my handsome face! Gu Qi shouted, covering his face with his hands, his heart filled with resentment. When Jun Xiaoyao heard this, he had a strange expression on his face. He had never seen such a shameless person. Song Yu and Song Shui, the beautiful sisters, looked at Jun Xiaoyao in surprise. Gu Dai was not an ordinary person. His true form was a ghost owl, and he was extremely powerful. In the younger generation of the Dark Nether Realm, he was ranked in the top 10. Of course, the so-called younger generation in the burial ground was actually hundreds or thousands of years old. However, compared to the other older creatures in the burial ground, they were considered young. However, Jun Xiaoyao had made Gu Dai so embarrassed with just a casual wave of his hand. This was a little beyond Song Yu's expectations. Previously, Jun Xiaoyao had said that he was invincible among his peers in the celestial realm. Although Song Yu did not ridicule him, she also thought that Jun Xiaoyao might be exaggerating. The fact that Jun Xiaoyao could enter the burial ground meant that he was indeed capable. However, it would be a little too much to say that he was invincible among his peers. But now, looking at the extremely embarrassed Gu Dai, Song Yu felt that even if Jun Xiaoyao had boasted, his identity and background were probably extraordinary. He was very likely the successor of an immortal force in the outside world. Despicable creature from the outside world, how dare you sneak attack me? Gu Dai's eyes shone with a cold light, and the death aura surged all over his body as if he was about to attack. He did not think that Jun Xiaoyao was very powerful. He only thought that Jun Xiaoyao had taken advantage of him by sneak attacking him. Do you really want to die? Jun Xiaoyao narrowed his eyes slightly. At this moment, Song Yu stepped forward and stood in front of the two of them. Both of you stop. Seeing Song Yu stop him, Gu Dai snorted coldly. Song Yu turned to Jun Xiaoyao and said, "It seems that our eyes have failed us. Young noble being able to enter the burial ground alone, you are indeed extraordinary. I wonder if young noble is interested in the yin-yang divine fruit?" Of course. Jun Xiaoyao nodded. He needed the yin-yang divine fruit to transform his sacred body of the ancient. Otherwise, Jun Xiaoyao would be too conspicuous. Although he never kept a low profile, he didn't want to be the center of attention wherever he went. This would also hinder his search for the 9 Wonders reincarnation immortal grass. Young master, you can come with us to the yin-yang soul pond this time. If there are extra fruits, you can have one, Song Yu said. Jun Xiaoyao nodded. He knew that Song Yu wanted to use him to obtain the yin-yang divine fruit. However, Jun Xiaoyao was also using Song Yu, using her as a breakthrough point to understand the entire eternal burial ground. After that, Jun Xiaoyao and Song Yu walked together. He wanted to find out more information. Gu Qi's face was gloomy. However, with Song Yu around, he couldn't do anything to Jun Xiaoyao. Humph, what ability does a reaching heaven state have to compete for the yin-yang divine fruit? Gu Qi snorted. He didn't believe that Jun Xiaoyao had the ability to compete with the other geniuses of the eternal burial ground. In fact, Song Yu didn't know what Jun Xiaoyao's real strength was. But at least one more person meant one more force. Furthermore, Jun Xiaoyao looked too aloof, giving off a very mysterious and unpredictable impression. Maybe he could surprise Song Yu. After all, Song Shui's symptoms couldn't be delayed. They had to get the yin-yang divine fruit. After that, Jun Xiaoyao also got on the giant skeleton bird. He also asked Song Yu some information about the eternal burial ground. After some investigation, Jun Xiaoyao had a general understanding of the eternal burial ground. The entire eternal burial ground was boundless. At least Song Yu hadn't been to far places. The entire eternal burial ground was divided into 10 regions. Every region had a buried sovereign as the ruler of the region. The so-called burial sovereign was actually the name given to the supreme experts in the eternal burial ground. In the mystic realm, they were at the level of supreme ancestors. The region where Song Yu and the others were in was called the Dark Nether Realm. It was a relatively remote region among the 10 regions. Song Yu and Song Shui, the sisters, had never left the dark nether realm since they were born and dug out of the ground. They were both from the Tsang family. The Tsang family was a famous family in the dark nether realm. They had a saint king. This time, the yin-yang soul pond they were going to was a place of opportunity in the dark nether realm. There was a rare yin-yang divine tree growing there. It only bore fruit once every 10,000 years. Every time it bore fruit, some forces in the dark nether realm would fight for it. In order to prevent the forces from losing too much, they agreed to make the competition for the yin-yang soul pond a grand event for the younger generation to gain experience. Song Yu and Song Shui were going to the yin-yang soul pond. Just in case, they invited Gu Dai, who was ranked in the top 10 in the dark nether realm. As for the reason, it was all because of their sister, Song Shui. She had a rare body of yin evil. If she could control this body, she would be very powerful and achieve great things in the future. But if she couldn't control it and let the death chi burst out, Song Shui's delicate body would collapse and disappear. The yin-yang divine fruit could mediate the death chi in Song Shui's body. Therefore, Song Yu had to get the yin-yang divine fruit this time. Otherwise, Song Shui would not be able to hold on. Body of yin evil? Jun Xiaoyao looked at Song Shui up and down. Song Shui's face was as delicate as her sister's. Her beautiful eyes were blue, and her skin was as white as snow. If she didn't have the death chi, she was indeed no different from a human girl in the outside world. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao looking at her, Song Shui showed a shy expression. If she could blush, she would have already blushed. Song Yu looked at Jun Xiaoyao and wanted to say something, but stopped on second thought. Jun Xiaoyao knew what Song Yu wanted to say. His sacred body of the ancients could indeed alleviate the death chi in Song Shui's body. However, Jun Xiaoyao did not do so. He was not a saint, and this was the first time he had met the sisters. It was impossible for him to give his sacred body of the ancients' blood to nourish Song Shui. It was impossible, not even a drop. It could be said that Jun Xiaoyao was cold-blooded. It could be said that Jun Xiaoyao was selfish. But his style had always been like this. It was impossible for him to treat Song Shui well just because she was a beautiful girl. Moreover, Jun Xiaoyao had already promised to help them fight for the yin-yang divine fruit. That was enough. It could also save Song Shui's life. As for Gu Dai, when he saw Song Shui's shy face, the coldness in his eyes became even more intense. This pair of sisters, he wanted to have them in his pocket. Otherwise, why would he spend so much effort to help them? When the battle for the yin-yang divine fruit begins, you will know how stupid it is to pin your hopes on this human from the outside world. Gu Dai said to himself coldly. Leisurely literature, let the soul travel. Chapter 317. The sky of the eternal burial ground was always dark and gloomy. A giant skeleton bird flapped its wings and flew toward the yin-yang soul pond. The Tsang sisters, Jun Xiaoyao, Gu Dai, and several elders of the Tsang family were sitting on the back of the giant bird. As they got to know each other better, Song Shui couldn't help but chat with Jun Xiaoyao. Her blue eyes were full of curiosity. She was curious about the mystic realm outside the burial ground. I didn't expect the mystic realm to be so big. It's divided into 9 heavens, and each realm has 3,000 provinces. It's definitely bigger than the burial ground, Song Shui said with a yearning look. If you have the chance in the future, you can go to the mystic realm. The world is so big. You have to see it, Jun Xiaoyao said casually. Yes, it would be great if we can get out. Song Shui nodded. Song Yu shook her head secretly. It was just like how the creatures in the mystic realm would feel weak and uncomfortable after entering the burial ground. It was also difficult for the creatures in the burial ground to adapt to the rules of heaven and earth in the mystic realm. Unless they could purify the death chi in their bodies and achieve life from death, they would be able to change their level of life. But it was too difficult. It was not something an ordinary creature in the burial ground could do. Right now, she just wanted Song Shui to live. After 3 days, Jun Xiaoyao and the others finally got close to the Yin-Yang Soul Pond. During these 3 days, Jun Xiaoyao got along well with the sisters. It was mainly because of Jun Xiaoyao's handsome appearance, good manners, profound vision, and mysterious temperament. Every single one of these was extremely attractive to the opposite sex. Most of the creatures in the burial ground were ugly. It was not hard to imagine how pure Jun Xiaoyao was. The sisters couldn't help but have a good impression of Jun Xiaoyao. At least Jun Xiaoyao didn't look like a bad guy. "Young master, it's up ahead." Song Yu looked ahead and reminded Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao looked ahead. There was a basin in front of them, surrounded by powerful yin and yang qi. There were also waves of death qi in the void in other directions of the basin. The other forces of the dark nether realm had arrived. The giant skeletal bird stopped outside the basin, just as Jun Xiaoyao and the others landed. There were also some factions in the other directions of the basin. They either rode skeleton birds or white bone carriages and arrived at this place. Among them, there were quite a few powerful auras. A few seemingly young creatures had cultivation levels around the divine flame realm. This made Jun Xiaoyao even more certain that the cultivation realms of burial earth living beings were generally 1 or 2 levels higher than the living beings of the same level in the immortal domain. This was also because the creatures of the burial earth had a long time to cultivate. Song Yu walked up to Jun Xiaoyao and reminded him, "Young master, you're from the outside world, so you don't know the strength of the young chosen ones in the realm of dark nether. They're not weak, so you can't underestimate them." She was afraid that Jun Xiaoyao would underestimate the enemy. In the end, not only would he not be able to help them, but he would also be a burden to them. For example, that race is the Ironbone race of Ironbone Ridge. They are buried underground, and their bodies have fused with some rare metals, turning into a body of iron. Their physical bodies are unparalleled, Song Yu said. Jun Xiaoyao glanced over. The Ironbone race had all kinds of strange shapes. Some were humanoid and some were beast-like. They all had a common characteristic. There were specks of metallic luster flickering all over their bodies. This was their bodies. After being buried underground for a long time, they had fused with the metal and turned into a diamond divine body. However, Jun Xiaoyao directly ignored them. In front of the sacred body of the ancients, no one dared to claim that their physical bodies were unparalleled. There's also a race called the Blue Ghoul race. They're good at using the curse of the dead and can even use soul sound wave attacks, Song Yu continued. Jun Xiaoyao looked over. The blue ghouls all had green faces and fangs, which were unbearable to look at. They also had green wings on their back. However, Jun Xiaoyao didn't care. His sacred body of the ancients contained sacred blood and could be immune to most curses. In terms of soul, Jun Xiaoyao had the primordial spirit of 3 lives, so he didn't need to care about the so-called blue ghoul race. Well, they're here too. Song Yu's face immediately darkened when she saw a certain force. Obviously, the Tsang family had some friction with that force. Jun Xiaoyao followed Song Yu's gaze and looked over. It was a group of human-like creatures. Standing in front was a young man in a purple robe. His body was surrounded by the qi of death. Beside him stood a figure in a black cloak. At this time, the young man also noticed Song Yu and the others. Just as he was about to speak, his gaze fell on Jun Xiaoyao. This powerful vitality, is it a creature from the outside world? The young man in the purple robe revealed a look of surprise. This attracted the attention of the surrounding forces. Those are the sisters of the Tsang family. They actually brought a creature from the outside world here. A creature from the Iron Bone clan whispered. A living person. How many years has it been since I've seen a living person? Fresh flesh and blood. The creatures of the Blue Ghoul race looked at Jun Xiaoyao with undisguised thirst for blood. It was as if they were staring at their prey. Things were precious when they were rare. There were too few creatures from the outside world who came to the eternal burial ground. It might be difficult to see one in dozens or even hundreds of years. Moreover, the qi and blood radiating from Jun Xiaoyao's body was too powerful. It was simply like a supreme flesh and blood medicine. No wonder the blue ghouls coveted it. Jun Xiaoyao's expression remained indifferent as he looked at the ill-intentioned gazes that surrounded him. He was even more determined to get the yin-yang divine fruit. Otherwise, he would get into trouble wherever he went. Haha, Tsangyu, can't you find any helpers? You actually brought a human from the outside world, and he's in the Heaven Pass realm. The man in the purple robe laughed. He came from the Gongming family, and his name was Gongminglan. The Gongming family and the Tsang family had once had a dispute over territory, and Gongminglan had been coveting the sisters for a long time. What does it have to do with you? Tsangyu only had endless disgust for Gongminglan. When the battle for the divine fruit starts, this human from the outside world will probably be snatched up immediately and become food, Gongminglan said indifferently. Although Jun Xiaoyao's temperament was mysterious and deep, he didn't need to care about a Heaven Pass realm human from the outside world. I really want to know if you've been buried underground for too long. Is there soil or water in your brains? Jun Xiaoyao tilted his head slightly and said indifferently. This sentence stunned many of the forces present. Then, cold gazes pierced Jun Xiaoyao like swords. Jun Xiaoyao's words had offended all the creatures in the burial ground. Even Tsang Yu's expression changed slightly. If Jun Xiaoyao angered everyone, she might not be able to protect herself. Just as the atmosphere was about to freeze, the figure in a black cloak beside Gongminglan stepped forward and spoke in a hoarse voice. Interesting. An arrogant creature from the outside world. I think the young master will be very interested. As the figure spoke, he took off his black cloak. This was a creature with a pair of rotting wings. His entire body exuded a thick, rotting aura of death. His cultivation level had actually reached the small perfection of the divine flame realm. How is that possible? You invited him? Tsangyu was shocked. She hadn't expected Gongminglan to be such a ruthless person. Who would dare to snatch the yin-yang divine fruit from him? Leisurely literature, let the soul travel. Chapter 3:18. He looked like a human, but he had a pair of rotten wings on his back. He was surrounded by a thick aura of death and the stench of rotting corpses. It was nauseating. However, since they were all burial earth beings, they didn't feel uncomfortable. When they looked at this living being, their faces were filled with shock. It's Katian. He's the follower of the fallen winged tribe's young paragon. It really is Katian. He's here for the divine yin-yang fruit too. What's there to compete for? He's definitely stronger than everyone else. The young elites of the Iron Bone tribe and the Blue Ghoul tribe had ugly expressions when they saw the living being named Katian. This Katian had a powerful background. I'm only here for the divine yin-yang fruit. I didn't expect to meet a living being from the outside world. Young lord must like this kind of food, Katian said coldly. Jun Xiaoyao raised his eyebrows, but he didn't get angry. In his eyes, Katian was already a dead man. He's... Jun Xiaoyao looked at Tsangyu beside him. Tsangyu said with an ugly expression, his name is Katian. His true form is a bone-rotting sparrow. His strength is ranked in the top 5 among the younger generation of the Dark Nether Realm. That's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that he's the follower of the Fallen Winged Tribe's saint. Upon hearing this, Jun Xiaoyao asked calmly, is the Fallen Winged Saint very strong? Very strong. He's one of the 10 minor kings, Tsangyu said solemnly. 10 minor kings? Jun Xiaoyao heard a new piece of information. Tsangyu explained, the 10 minor kings are the 10 most outstanding young paragons of the 10 regions of the burial earth. The Fallen Winged Saint is the young paragon of the Dark Nether Realm. Over the years, many prodigies have tried to challenge the Fallen Winged Saint for his position, but they all failed miserably. His position is unshakable. Song Yu's explanation was enough to show how powerful the fallen winged saint was. He was definitely one of the most powerful young elites in the eternal burial earth. He was the most powerful imperishable realm successor in the outside world. In addition, the fallen winged tribe behind him is also very powerful. The fallen winged tribe's burial emperor is also the dark nether realm's lord. After the explanation, Jun Xiaoyao finally understood. To put it simply, fallen harpies were the rulers of the dark nether realm. Any fallen feather could do whatever they wanted in the realm of dark nether. No one dared to offend them. Although Tian was not a member of the Fallen Feather clan, he was a follower of the Fallen Feather Sage. It was no wonder that Song Yu would reveal such an ugly and despairing expression. Sister. Pale Snow's face turned even paler. Clearly, with Tian's participation, the chances of others obtaining the yin-yang divine fruits were greatly reduced. It's alright. We still have Brother Gu Dai. He's also one of the top 10 prodigies in the dark nether realm, Song Yu comforted. At this moment, Gu Dai's expression was extremely unnatural. At the bottom of his eyes, there was actually a faint trace of fear. If he knew that Tian would come, he definitely wouldn't have come. Gu Ying, a defeated opponent like you dares to come here and make a fool of yourself? Tian looked at Gu Ying. To him, Jun Xiaoyao was already in the bag. He could harvest him at any time. Tian, don't be too harsh with your words. Although Gu Dai retorted, everyone could tell that he was not confident. Song Yu's heart was also in her mouth. Tian was not interested in Gu Dai. He looked at Jun Xiaoyao, wondering if he should suppress him first. At this moment, yin and yang qi surged and circulated in the depths of the basin. A wave of fluctuations spread out. Forget it. Let's finish the young master's task. We'll get the yin-yang divine fruits first and then deal with this outsider, Tian said in his heart. The rest of the Iron Bone clan and the Blue Ghouls also thought the same. The yin-yang divine fruits were the most important. The battle for the yin-yang divine fruits has begun, the elder of the Tsang family said. Brother Gu Dai, please, Song Yu said. This time, Song Yu, Jun Xiaoyao, and Gu Dai entered the yin-yang soul pond. As for Pale Snow, he was not in good health and could only wait outside. If she could not get the yin-yang divine fruits this time, she would not be able to wait for the next result. Song Yu did not know Jun Xiaoyao's real strength, so she did not bet on Jun Xiaoyao. But she knew Gu Dai's strength. He was even qualified to fight against Tian. I'll try my best, Gu Dai said diffidently. Compared to his confidence at the beginning, Gu Dai was now very diffident. Jun Xiaoyao and the others stepped into the basin. Pale Snow and the others were watching the battle outside. The young experts of the Iron Bone clan and the Blue Ghouls also set out. Gongming Lan and Tian also took action. In the depths of the basin, there was a pool with a radius of 3,000 meters. The entire pool was like a Tai Chi diagram, clearly divided into two areas, black and white. In the center of the two areas, there was a divine tree that was 300 meters tall. It was the yin-yang divine tree. At this moment, fruits surrounded by yin and yang qi hung on the branches of the yin-yang divine tree. These fruits were half black and half white. They looked quite strange. There were about a dozen of them. Outside the yin-yang soul pool, many figures appeared. Seeing the yin-yang divine fruits on the yin-yang divine tree, the eyes of the burial ground elites lit up. The yin-yang divine fruits had the incredible effect of changing life and death. For the creatures of the burial ground, this was an irresistible temptation. The 10 Kings banquet is about to begin. Young Master needs the yin-yang divine fruits to transform and reach a higher level. I must bring all the fruits back, Tian thought. His young master, the Fallen Feather Saint, was the #1 genius in the Dark Nether territory. But among the geniuses of the 10 minor kings, the Fallen Feather Saint was not outstanding. He was not in the top 5. The Fallen Feather Saint valued the 10 Kings banquet very much. He also wanted to improve his ranking. Therefore, the yin-yang divine fruits were even more important. On the other side, the young geniuses of the Iron Bone clan and the Blue Ghouls also arrived at the yin-yang soul pool. But they did not enter rashly, because the yin-yang soul pool was not that simple. Jun Xiaoyao and the others also arrived. Looking at the yin-yang divine fruits on the yin-yang divine tree, Jun Xiaoyao's eyes lit up. The yin-yang divine fruits were indeed extraordinary. Although they were not elixirs of immortality, they were not far from it. The special effect of the yin-yang divine fruits was even better than some elixirs of immortality. Let's do it. Without hesitation, Jun Xiaoyao stepped out. He was so fast that he flashed into the yin-yang soul pool. Young master, wait! Song Yu's expression changed. Jun Xiaoyao had already rushed out of the room before she was able to say anything. At this moment, the yin-yang soul pool seemed to be boiling. Along with the sound of water splashing, a terrifying fierce beast with 9 heads popped out. This fierce beast was covered in scales and had 9 heads. They looked like both snake heads and dragon heads. It looked extremely ferocious and terrifying. And the 9 heads were of different colors. This is the primordial fierce beast, the 9-headed fierce beast? Jun Xiaoyao looked at the fierce beast in front of him, and his eyes lit up. No, it's not a pureblood. It only has a trace of the 9-headed fierce beast's bloodline, Jun Xiaoyao thought. The real primordial fierce beast, the 9-headed fierce beast, could kill a real dragon. The fierce beast in front of him only had a trace of the 9-headed fierce beast's bloodline. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao still standing where he was, the creatures of the burial ground around him sneered. Is the human outside scared out of his wits? Yeah, didn't he think about why we didn't just rush in? These creatures of the burial ground thought that Jun Xiaoyao was extremely reckless. What a joke! Gu Dai also sneered. Only Tsang Yu, Tsang Shui, and the others who were watching from outside changed their expressions. Get out of the way! Tsang Yu shouted. But it was too late. The 9 heads of the ferocious beast that looked like a 9-headed infant opened their mouth. Raging flames, frigid water, poisonous gas, demonic thunder, and all kinds of energy gushed out from its 9 heads. The area where Jun Xiaoyao was instantly engulfed by all kinds of terrifying energy. Seeing this scene, the burial earth beings present all shook their heads. Even the fallen feather Holy Sun would probably lose a layer of skin from this level of attack. Not to mention a mere human from the outside world. They thought that Jun Xiaoyao was doomed. Leisurely literature, let the soul travel. Chapter 319. Generally speaking, spiritual treasures were guarded by demonic beasts. The yin-yang sacred tree was no exception. There was a ferocious beast with a trace of the 9-headed fierce beast's bloodline living in the yin-yang soul pond. Almost all the forces in the dark nether territory knew about it. That was why they stopped to inquire about the situation when they first arrived at the yin-yang soul pond. Jun Xiaoyao was a visitor from the outside world, so he naturally didn't know about it. Song Yu had forgotten to mention it before. She had acted with Jun Xiaoyao, but to her surprise, Jun Xiaoyao rushed out without saying anything. Song Yu didn't expect Jun Xiaoyao to rush out so quickly. There was a cold smile on Gu Dai's face as well. That human from the outside world who had humiliated him was finally dead. TSK, this creature from the outside world is so pitiful. Do you think he can leave his body intact? A creature from the burial ground asked. If he can leave his body intact and be buried, maybe he can become one of us in the future, a young genius from the Iron Bone clan said, shaking his head. What a pity! I wanted to suppress him and give him to the young master as medicine, Tion said indifferently. Soon after, the rotting wings on his back flapped as he shot towards the yin-yang divine tree. Now that Jun Xiaoyao had attracted the ferocious beast's attention, they had to seize this opportunity. Seeing this, the young geniuses from the Iron Bone clan and the Blue Ghoul tribe also rushed toward the yin-yang sacred tree. Sang Yu gritted her teeth and said, Brother Gu Dai, please go and fight for the yin-yang sacred fruit. What about you? Gu Dai asked. I'll go and see if that young master is dead, Song Yu said as she turned around. Song Yu knew it would be dangerous, but she couldn't make up her mind. Perhaps it was because of their interactions over the past few days that she had developed a good impression of Jun Xiaoyao. You! Gu Dai was so angry that his nose was crooked. The human from the outside world was dead, but Song Yu still couldn't forget him. Just as Song Yu was about to leave, the ferocious beast turned around and stared at her. Ferocious light flashed in its eyes. Song Yu's face turned even paler, but she didn't retreat. If he was alive, he wanted to see him. If he was dead, he wanted to see the corpse. At this moment, a faint voice was emitted from the raging flame poison chi devil lightning. What a beast! It dares to act so ferociously just because it has a trace of the 9 neonate bloodline. As the voice rang out, Jun Xiaoyao's figure appeared. Stepping on the raging flames and poisonous gas, he walked out calmly. All of the raging flames, frigid water, poisonous gas, demonic lightning, and other energies were silently annihilated into nothingness when they were 3 meters away from Jun Xiaoyao. It was Jun Xiaoyao's ability that granted him immunity to magical power. Nothing could touch it. None of the energy the beast spat out could hurt Jun Xiaoyao in the slightest. Young master, you! Song Yu was completely dumbfounded. She didn't dare to believe her eyes. Even the fallen feather saint would lose a layer of skin if he encountered such an attack. However, Jun Xiaoyao walked out with his hands clasped behind his back. He was incomparably calm, and not a speck of dust could be seen on his white robe. This was completely beyond her imagination. How is this possible? The creatures of the burial earth, who were about to fight for the yin-yang divine fruit, widened their eyes when they saw this scene. Gu Dai was even more dumbfounded. He never expected that Jun Xiaoyao would not only withstand such a terrifying attack. There wasn't even a wrinkle on the corner of his robe. They couldn't figure out what was going on at all. What shocked the creatures of the burial earth even more was yet to come. They saw Jun Xiaoyao throw out a punch. The power of his fist was shocking, and his chi and blood surged. The punch, with 10 billion kilograms of divine power, created ripples in the void. A terrifying air blast burst out like a thunderclap. Bang! A huge bloody hole appeared on the body of the ferocious beast. It was as if the punch had penetrated its heart. Jun Xiaoyao used his fingers as a sword again, and the power of his fist turned into sword light. With a point of his finger, the sword light burst out, showing the terrifying scene of the immortals falling along the way. It was the Jun family's immortal slayer sword art. Puff, 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 puff. One by one, heads were cut off by the sword light. The ferocious beast that originally had 9 heads was now bald. It was quite bald. Seeing this scene, the creatures of the burial earth were about to suffocate. However, they didn't seem to need to breathe. But without a doubt, Jun Xiaoyao's performance had completely shocked them, and their hearts were trembling. Gu Dai's expression was extremely unnatural. As for Kei Tian and Gong Minglan, their faces were filled with bewilderment. This creature from the outside world doesn't seem to be that simple, Kei Tian muttered to himself. He was not a fool. The pressure Jun Xiaoyao was showing now was even stronger than the fallen feather saint. However, when he thought of the fallen feather saint and the fallen feather race behind him, Kei Tian felt relieved. If this human from the outside world knew what was good for him, he would still obediently surrender. Jun Xiaoyao killed the ferocious beast with 2 moves effortlessly. On the side, Song Yu was still in a daze. Her snow-white face did not recover for a long time. As for Zhang Shui, who was watching the battle from the outside, he clenched his fists and cheered. This young master from the outside world is not ordinary. The elders of the Zhang family were shocked. Obviously, they were also shocked. Jun Xiaoyao glanced at the dazed Song Yu and said softly, "Don't be in a daze. Go get the yin-yang divine fruit." Song Yu's action of risking her life to check on him made the indifference in Jun Xiaoyao's eyes melt slightly. Oh, okay. Song Yu came back to her senses and stammered. She was so excited that she couldn't speak clearly. She now had a preliminary understanding of Jun Xiaoyao's true strength. No wonder the young master attacked directly. It's not that he was reckless, but that there was no need to be careful. Song Yu sighed in her heart. The creatures of the burial earth had just mocked Jun Xiaoyao, thinking that he was reckless and stupid. In the end, they were immediately slapped in the face. Jun Xiaoyao didn't care about this level of danger at all. Jun Xiaoyao brought Song Yu straight to the yin-yang divine tree. At this moment, the young prodigies of the blue ghoul race suddenly surrounded them. This race liked to eat flesh and blood. And just now, Jun Xiaoyao's punch had exploded with overwhelming blood qi. They couldn't suppress their desire for blood. In the eyes of the blue ghoul race, Jun Xiaoyao's flesh and blood medicine was even more attractive than the yin-yang divine fruit. Human from the outside world, we know you're very strong, but this is the burial earth. It's not a place where you can behave atrociously. These prodigies of the blue ghoul race all had powerful auras. They had reached the divine fire realm. However, Jun Xiaoyao didn't even look at them. He just slapped out casually. With a single push of his palm, it was as if he had split open the galaxy. Poof, poof, poof. The powerful prodigies of the blue ghoul race didn't even use their move. They were directly slapped to death by Jun Xiaoyao like flies. All the burial earth prodigies present felt their scalps go numb. Their expressions changed drastically as if they were facing a great enemy. This feeling was as if a lowly ant had instantly become a high and mighty god. In front of a god, the prodigies of the burial ground were like ants. Chapter 320. The geniuses of the Ironbone clan and the Gongming clan, including Gongming Lan, felt their scalps tingle and their hearts tremble violently. How can this human be so strong? Gongming Lan's voice was trembling. He had just mocked Song Yu for bringing a reaching heaven state human from the outside world. He even said that Jun Xiaoyao would probably be torn apart by the creatures of the burial earth. But now, it was the creatures of the burial earth who were being tortured. Kei Tian's expression became unnatural. Although he was one of the top 10 young geniuses of the Dark Nether Realm, he felt like he was facing an invincible immortal king when facing Jun Xiaoyao. At that moment, the creatures of the Ironbone clan attacked. Creatures of the outside world, don't be so arrogant. Let me see how strong you are. A strong man of the Ironbone clan threw a punch. His whole body was shining with a metallic luster, and he looked tough and cold. The Ironbone clan was not stupid, but they were confident in themselves. The Ironbone clan might not be the strongest in terms of killing, but their defense and life-saving ability were definitely the best. Their physical bodies were comparable to divine weapons and were incomparably tough. That was why they dared to test Jun Xiaoyao. Even if they were no match for him, at least Jun Xiaoyao could not kill them. Seeing the Ironbone clan attack, Jun Xiaoyao's expression did not change at all. As usual, he threw out a punch in an ordinary manner. In terms of physical strength, Jun Xiaoyao had never been afraid of anyone. Boom! Golden qi and blood surged like an ocean and poured out. His sacred body of the ancients was strong enough to suppress the enemy with 10 billion pounds of divine power. Bang! Jun Xiaoyao's punch was super powerful. When the strong man of the Ironbone clan came to his senses, he found that his chest had been punched through by Jun Xiaoyao's fist. There was a huge hole in his chest, but because of the special physique of the Ironbone clan, there was no bleeding. There was only a big black hole. This is impossible. I'm an Ironbone clan member. The brawny man from the Ironbone race stared with his eyes wide open. He couldn't believe it. Their bodies were comparable to divine weapons, impervious to fire, water, and weapons. But now Jun Xiaoyao's fist had penetrated it. Jun Xiaoyao smacked him with his palm. The muscular man's head was sent flying like a rubber ball. Jun Xiaoyao threw a series of punches that were incomparably ferocious, shattering all of the young iron bones. This kind of scene was too shocking. In front of Jun Xiaoyao, the Iron Bone race, which was known for its unparalleled physical defense, was like a paper tiger that could be torn apart with a single tear. This outside creature, is he a descendant of the true dragon? Stammered one of the burial earth creatures. In their eyes, only a true dragon youngling could have such terrifying physical strength. So terrifying. No wonder he could come to the burial earth. He's really something. The other creatures were trembling. At first, they looked down on Jun Xiaoyao. Some of them even regarded Jun Xiaoyao as a precious medicine. But now, no one dared to have any thoughts about Jun Xiaoyao. Outside the Yin-Yang Soul Pond, the elders of the Blue Ghosts and the Ironbone clan were furious. They wanted to attack, but the elders of the Tsang family stopped them. Do you want to break the agreement? The lives of the talents who enter the Yin-Yang Soul Pond are up to God. It's normal for them to die. Jun Xiaoyao wasn't the only reason why the elder of the Tsang family spoke up for him. They also wanted Jun Xiaoyao to get the Yin-Yang divine fruit. Then Tsang Shui would be saved. If the Yin evil body matured, she would at least become a saint or even stronger. The elders of the two clans were livid, but they couldn't refute. Only the talents of the Gongming family, Ke Tian, Jun Xiaoyao, Song Yu, and Gu Ying were left in the Yin-Yang Soul Pond. As for the other creatures in the burial earth, they didn't have much strength. They only dared to watch from afar. You want to give me to your young lord as food? Jun Xiaoyao said playfully as he looked at Ke Tian. Ke Tian's face darkened. He had come to realize that Jun Xiaoyao was a ruthless man, one who showed no mercy at all when he went about his business. Creatures from the outside world. Maybe you're a descendant of an immortal force. But this is the eternal burial earth, and the fallen feather race is the ruler here. Our young lord is the strongest talent of the fallen feather race. Have you considered the consequences of going against our young lord? Ke Tian said calmly, as if he had nothing to fear. Is this what it means to be a dog relying on its master's power? Jun Xiaoyao smiled. Ke Tian's eyes shone with killing intent, but he was a bit afraid of Jun Xiaoyao, so he didn't dare to attack alone. What are you waiting for? Do you want an outsider to get the Yin-Yang divine fruit? Shouted Ke Tian. That's right. The opportunity in the burial earth can't be taken away by an outsider. Gongming Lan and the other geniuses of the Gongming family also attacked. Gu Ying, what about you? Ke Tian looked at Gu Ying. Although Gu Ying had lost to him, he was still a force to be reckoned with. Gu Ying's expression changed. His previous actions had made him an enemy of Jun Xiaoyao. Instead of feeling uneasy, he might as well take this opportunity to get rid of Jun Xiaoyao. He also decided to make a move and began to use his move. Gu Ying, you. Song Yu's eyes widened. She couldn't believe that Gu Ying would turn the tables at this critical moment. Song Yu, this is the burial earth. We can't let an outsider do as he pleases, said Gu Ying righteously. But in the end, he was still jealous of Jun Xiaoyao. I must have been blind, rebuked Song Yu. The burial earth beings all attacked at the same time. The rotten wings on Ke Tian's back flapped, and a black tide surged. A black tide filled with rotting corpses surged out. This was one of his innate abilities as a bone-rotting sparrow, the rotting corpse tide. If any living being came into contact with it, their entire body would fester. If they fell into the rotting corpse tide, they would die without a doubt. The fact that Ke Tian brought out his trump card right away made it clear that he was extremely wary of Jun Xiaoyao. Gu Ying also attacked with his full strength. He condensed a black seal that seemed to be surrounded by countless wraiths. This was also the innate ability of his main body, the ghost owl wraith seal. Song Yu's face was as pale as paper as she looked at the powerful attack coming at her. Stand behind me. Jun Xiaoyao clasped his hands behind his back. He didn't even have any intention of attacking. Song Yu gritted her teeth and stood behind Jun Xiaoyao. For some reason, looking at the back of the white-robed man in front of her, Song Yu's uneasy heart actually calmed down. It was as if this back could shelter her from all the wind and rain. This sense of security was simply bursting. Seeing that Jun Xiaoyao didn't even have any intention of attacking, Kei Tian's eyes flashed. Has this outsider completely given up resisting? Rumble. All kinds of moves formed a torrent that drowned Jun Xiaoyao and Song Yu's figures. Sister, young master. Song Shui, who was watching the battle from outside, was burning with anxiety. He's finally dead. What a pity, Song Yu, that stupid woman. Guing sneered. Chapter 321. That terrifying wave of magic power swept through everything. This was the combined attack of Kei Tian and the others. Even a peak divine flame expert wouldn't be able to receive it. However, what happened next made Kei Tian and the others feel like their brains had short-circuited. Once the magic power dissipated, Jun Xiaoyao appeared in his original spot. His white robes weren't tainted by a speck of dust. He was standing there indifferently. He hadn't even moved a single finger. Are my eyes playing tricks on me? Why is that outsider completely fine? Gong Minglan rubbed his eyes. How is that possible? Did he use some kind of defensive technique? Gu Dai also cried out in disbelief. Impossible. He didn't do anything just now, nor did he take out any defensive treasures. Kei Tian stared at Jun Xiaoyao. This scene was too strange. Kei Tian and the others were completely baffled. It wasn't just them. Even Song Yu behind Jun Xiaoyao was a bit dumbfounded. That attack just now actually disappeared when it approached the young master. Song Yu also couldn't understand. She only felt that Jun Xiaoyao was too mysterious. He had all kinds of tricks up his sleeves. That's it. Jun Xiaoyao shook his head. Even if he stood there without moving, it would take Kei Tian and the others a while to break through his magic power immunity. However, Jun Xiaoyao wasn't planning on wasting any more time. He took out the exterminating tyrant Saint King glove and put it on his right hand. Then, he threw out a punch. The Gongming family's Gong Minglan and the others were directly blown apart by Jun Xiaoyao. Broken limbs flew through the air. Then Jun Xiaoyao's gaze locked onto Gu Dai. Gu Dai was so terrified that his soul almost left his body. He didn't even have time to fight over the yin-yang divine fruit. Jun Xiaoyao still punched. No! Gu Dai let out a miserable cry before being blown apart by Jun Xiaoyao. In just a few breaths' time, the only one left was Kei Tian. As for Kei Tian, he was no longer as calm and arrogant as before. Instead, it was replaced with panic and trembling. The ruthless and decisive methods of the human race from the outside world in front of him, why did it feel like they were even crueler than the creatures of the burial earth? You. What do you want? I am the follower of Lord Fallen Feather Holy Sun. If you kill me without you— Before Kei Tian could finish speaking, Jun Xiaoyao slapped him across the face. Noisy! Young master, don't. Song Yu was just about to dissuade him. In the end, with a bang, Kei Tian's head directly exploded, and his body was torn apart. He didn't have the slightest ability to resist, and directly died. This. Song Yu's body trembled slightly. She wasn't happy that Jun Xiaoyao had killed Kei Tian. If Jun Xiaoyao had only snatched a few yin-yang divine fruits, he would have offended the Fallen Feather Holy Sun. But now Jun Xiaoyao had directly killed the follower of the Fallen Feather Saint. This was a huge grudge. With the Fallen Feather Holy Sun's character, it was simply impossible for him to take things lying down. It wasn't that the Fallen Feather Holy Sun thought highly of Kei Tian, but that he had to look at the master before beating a dog. Young master, we're in trouble now. Song Yu bit her lips. Are you talking about the Fallen Feather Holy Sun? Don't worry about it. Jun Xiaoyao's tone was casual. He stepped forward, came to the yin-yang divine tree, and plucked more than 10 yin-yang divine fruit. Young master, you might be strong, and you might even be stronger than the Fallen Feather Holy Sun. But the Fallen Feather Holy Sun has the Fallen Feather tribe and the Burial Emperor behind him, Song Yu said worriedly. The reason why she said so much was because she was worried about Jun Xiaoyao. Comparing background? When Jun Xiaoyao heard this, he couldn't help but chuckle softly. If this matter spread to the celestial realm, it would definitely be treated as a joke. There was actually someone who dared to compare background with Jun Xiaoyao. This was simply displaying one's slight skill in front of an expert. It was extremely laughable. As the young master of two clan of the ancients, the fallen feather holy son was nothing. Young master, how can you still laugh? Song Yu didn't understand why Jun Xiaoyao was so casual. Even though he might be the successor of an imperishable force in the outside world, the fallen feather tribe was still the dominator of the dark nether realm. Don't worry. If the fallen feather tribe wants to die, come and find me, Jun Xiaoyao said calmly, holding a yin-yang divine fruit in his hand. This time, Song Yu was really speechless. Jun Xiaoyao's temperament was like an immortal, but his words were as domineering as an emperor's. This was not intentional. It was a kind of domineering aura that he was born with. This feeling made Song Yu's eyes sparkle. No matter how true Jun Xiaoyao's words were, at this moment, Jun Xiaoyao was indeed more attractive. Outside the yin-yang soul pond, the elders of the forces of the dark nether realm were frozen like stone statues. All the talents of their forces were killed by Jun Xiaoyao. Not only that, even K Tian, the follower of the fallen feather saint, was killed. If this news spread out, it would shake the entire dark nether realm. It wasn't that K Tian's death was a big deal. K Tian's identity was sensitive. He was the follower of the fallen feather saint. Killing the fallen feather saint child's follower was a huge piece of news. It would leave a group of people dumbstruck. This outsider will definitely die. Humph, how dare he kill a creature of the Iron Bone tribe? I'd like to see how miserable his end will be. The Iron Bone tribe, the Blue Ghoul tribe, and the Gongming family all sneered. They were about to take action when the elders of the Tsang family stopped them. Now, they were not in a hurry to deal with Jun Xiaoyao. Because Jun Xiaoyao was destined to die in the hands of the fallen feather saint, and he would die miserably. Therefore, they were not in a hurry to kill Jun Xiaoyao. Haha, the Tsang family dares to ally with this outsider. When the time comes, the fallen feather saint will destroy your entire family. The elder of the Gongming family sneered, as he looked at the elder of the Tsang family. If the Tsang family was destroyed, the Gongming family would benefit. Hearing this, the elder of the Tsang family's face turned ugly. Jun Xiaoyao walked out of the yin-yang soul pond with Song Yu after plucking the yin-yang divine fruit. The surrounding creatures of the burial earth looked at Jun Xiaoyao as if he was a dead man. Jun Xiaoyao didn't care about their discussion. Let's leave this place first, Jun Xiaoyao said. Song Yu nodded slightly. They got on the giant skeletal bird and left. The other factions left one after another to spread the news of what had happened here. They could imagine that there would be a good show in the dark nether realm in a few days. The fallen feather saint was known for his ruthlessness. He would not let Jun Xiaoyao go even if it was for his own reputation. As one of the 10 minor kings, no one in the dark nether realm dared to challenge his authority. Fallen feather saint, fallen feather tribe, you'd better know your place. Don't provoke the Son of God, or else the Son of God will destroy your entire tribe. Chapter 322. Although the eternal burial ground wasn't the Jun family's territory, it didn't mean that the Jun family didn't have any deterrence in the eternal burial ground. The Jun family was a top immortal force. If the fallen winged race really bullied the weak and offended Jun Xiaoyao, even if the fallen winged race was a native force of the eternal burial ground, the Jun family would still dare to chase after them. This was also where Jun Xiaoyao's confidence came from. Moreover, Jiang Daoshu also gave Jun Xiaoyao many treasures. Jun Xiaoyao didn't need to be too afraid. When he came back to his senses, he felt 2 pairs of bright eyes staring at him. The beautiful sisters, Song Yu and Song Shui, stared at Jun Xiaoyao with their beautiful blue eyes as if they were staring at a treasure. In the eyes of the sisters, Jun Xiaoyao was simply a treasure boy. His appearance was peerlessly handsome, his identity was mysterious, and his strength was shockingly strong. They had never heard of or seen the kind of technique that could make him immune to magic power. In addition, just now, Jun Xiaoyao displayed his invincible might and swept away all his enemies with one hand. When had they ever seen this kind of boldness from other men? Only Jun Xiaoyao had this kind of invincible domineering aura. Therefore, the hearts of the two girls were swaying. Even if they didn't fall into Jun Xiaoyao's hands directly, they at least had a good impression of him. I've already obtained the yin-yang divine fruit. I also need to find a place to refine it, Jun Xiaoyao said. After refining it, he could rest easy and explore the eternal burial ground. Young master, if you don't mind, you can go to my Tsang family first. You can also refine it in peace, Song Yu said. Yes, young master, you can go to my house without worry. Song Shui nodded her little head. Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly. The few elders of the Tsang family at the side revealed a hint of worry in their eyes. They still remembered what the elder of the Gongming family said just now. If the Tsang family had any relationship with Jun Xiaoyao, when the time came for the fallen feather saint's son to settle the score, the Tsang family would most likely be implicated. But now, the yin-yang divine fruit was snatched by Jun Xiaoyao, so they couldn't say anything. The Tsang clan was located in an ancient city in the realm of dark nether called Baiwang City. A few days later, Jun Xiaoyao saw Baiwang City. It was an ancient city filled with a desolate aura. It was different from the bustling cities of the immortal region. Most of the cities in the burial ground were dilapidated and desolate. They were filled with an ancient aura, as if they were forgotten cities. There weren't many burial earth creatures in the ancient city. The number of living beings in the burial earth was far less than in the immortal realm. Jun Xiaoyao entered Baiwang City under the lead of Tsang Yu and Tsang Shui. Jun Xiaoyao's vitality was like a bright lamp that attracted the attention of many burial earth beings around the ancient city. However, when they saw the Tsang sisters, the surrounding burial earth beings did not dare to step forward and offend them. How rare! The Tsang sisters actually brought an outsider with them. Yes, such fresh flesh and blood. Without the Tsang sisters' protection, that young man from the human clan would have been eaten alive by some other creatures. That's right. Look at how handsome that outsider is. I'm afraid he has already become the exclusive property of the Tsang sisters. Damn it. I also want to live off the Tsang sisters. Forget it. It depends on the face. The news about the yin-yang soul pond had not spread yet. Therefore, they did not know Jun Xiaoyao's ability. They thought Jun Xiaoyao was a gigolo who lived off the Tsang sisters. Then, the Tsang sisters took Jun Xiaoyao back to the Tsang clan. The Tsang clan was the overlord of Baiwang City and occupied the central area of the city. The Tsang sisters brought an outsider back, which caused a stir in the Tsang clan. Even the master of the Tsang clan was alarmed. What surprised Jun Xiaoyao was that the master of the Tsang clan was not a human. He was covered with scales, and his eyes were as sharp as those of a beast. Tsang Yu explained when she saw this. Although the Tsang clan was called a clan, they were not related by blood. They were not even of the same race. The creatures in the burial ground were very special. They were reborn from dead bodies. Therefore, the Tsang clan was not a single clan. The reason why they established the Tsang family was because they were all born from the same burial ground. Tsang Yu and Tsang Shui were born on the same day. They were sisters in their previous lives. I see. Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly. The eternal burial ground was really special. Jun Xiaoyao could not help but think of the reincarnation in the underworld. Who was the one who created the eternal burial ground? What was the reason for it? Did they want to reconstruct the reincarnation cycle and turn the eternal burial ground into a place of reincarnation for all creatures in the world? Jun Xiaoyao's mind was open. He thought of many things in an instant. Thank you for helping Tsang Shui get the yin-yang sacred fruit, the master of the Tsang clan said. Jun Xiaoyao could sense that the Tsang clan master's aura was at the saint realm. Looking at the immortal realm, he could also become the master of a first-rate force. I'm also doing it for myself. You don't have to be polite, master. Jun Xiaoyao waved his hand, his bearing calm and leisurely. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao's expression, the Tsang clan master's pupils constricted slightly. He was a saint, while Jun Xiaoyao was the heavenly king Skyspan Marquis. The difference between the two was huge. Logically speaking, Jun Xiaoyao should have a reserved attitude when facing him. But why did the Tsang clan master feel that Jun Xiaoyao was even higher than him now? It was like a nouveau riche facing an emperor. For this kid to be able to enter the burial ground alone, his background must not be simple either, the Tsang clan master thought to himself. Following that, he instructed the servants to give Jun Xiaoyao the best treatment and not slight him. Jun Xiaoyao came to a guest hall. Tsang Yu and Tsang Shui followed beside him. How many yin-yang divine fruits do you need? Jun Xiaoyao asked. Actually, one is enough, Tsang Yu said. Jun Xiaoyao did not say anything and directly gave Tsang Shui 3 yin-yang divine fruit. Young master, this is too much. Tsang Yu and Tsang Shui both declined. It could be said that Tsang Yu did not contribute much in the battle for the yin-yang divine fruits this time. It was all Jun Xiaoyao's credit. Giving them 1 yin-yang divine fruit was already extremely benevolent. Take it, Jun Xiaoyao said. It was not because Jun Xiaoyao was kind, but because at that time, when he was overwhelmed by the ferocious beasts, Tsang Yu had risked her life to help him. If not for that, Jun Xiaoyao would not have taken out 2 more yin-yang divine fruit. Young master, then I'll bring little Shui to refine the divine fruits first. Tsang Yu and Tsang Shui bowed and left. Jun Xiaoyao still had 10 yin-yang divine fruits left. My cultivation realm is considered top-notch in the immortal realm's younger generation, but it doesn't seem to be much in the burial ground. Since that's the case, then let's break through, Jun Xiaoyao said to himself. These 10 yin-yang divine fruits were just enough to help him break through. For ordinary people, breaking through to the divine flame realm required extreme caution. If they were not careful, their divine flame would be extinguished, and their cultivation path would be cut off. But for Jun Xiaoyao, what was a bottleneck? It did not exist. Leisurely literature, let the soul travel. Chapter 323. Jun Xiaoyao entered the secret chamber in the hall and started to prepare for his breakthrough. However, before he broke through, he still kept an eye out. He set up a concealment array around the secret chamber. After all, he was now in the ancient burial ground and not in the Jun family. One had to be wary of others. After setting up the array, Jun Xiaoyao started to break through. He first took out 10 yin-yang divine fruit. Every divine fruit was black and white, like the tai chi of yin and yang, surrounded by yin and yang qi. These yin-yang divine fruits could not only transform Jun Xiaoyao's aura, but they also contained extremely vigorous energy. Such a rare treasure could only be found in the ancient burial ground. There were very few traces of yin-yang divine fruits in the celestial realm. Apart from the 10 yin-yang divine fruits, Jun Xiaoyao also took out various precious pills and spirit herbs. Apart from the Jun family, a large portion of these pills and spirit herbs were also given by the Jiang family. Jiang Daoxiu loved Jun Xiaoyao very much and wanted to give all the good things to Jun Xiaoyao. Among them, there were a few immortal herbs that were rare in the Jiang family's inventory. For example, there was an immortal herb whose leaves were as black as a tortoise's shell and carried a heavy aura. It was the black tortoise immortal herb. There was also an immortal herb that was completely golden and reflected the light of the sun. It was the ancient golden crow immortal herb. In addition, there was also a crimson immortal herb, which looked as if it was covered in flowing flames. It was the Bai Fong immortal herb. The Bai Fong was a primordial firebird, a primordial mutated beast on the same level as the nine-headed snakelet. It was a divine bird comparable to the godly phoenix. Every single one of these immortal herbs was extremely precious and had been in the Jiang family's inventory for many years. Even Jiang Zuling, Hua Yuanxiu, and the others could not get a single immortal herb unless they made a great contribution. However, all of them were now given to Jun Xiaoyao. It was obvious how much the Jiang family and Jiang Daoshu valued Jun Xiaoyao. This time, I must bring back the 9-wonder reincarnation immortal herb for grandfather. Jun Xiaoyao made up his mind and began to cultivate and make a breakthrough. He used the God-engulfing demonic technique, which was most suitable for refining energy. All kinds of spirit herbs and elixirs were swallowed by the black hole as if they were worthless, and then turned into pure energy that was absorbed by Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao's aura also began to rise. The bottleneck of the great completeness of the reaching heaven state began to loosen. Then, Jun Xiaoyao refined the immortal herbs and the 10 yin-yang divine fruit. If Tsang Yu and Tsang Shui saw this scene, they would definitely cry out in surprise. Because even if Tsang Shui wanted to refine the yin-yang divine fruits, he would have to refine them one by one. On top of that, it also required all sorts of supplementary items to alleviate the vigorous medicinal properties. How could he be like Jun Xiaoyao, who could refine them all at once? Even if it was a divine flame realm expert, they would find it hard to endure this terrifying medicinal strength and their bodies would explode. However, there was no need to worry about Jun Xiaoyao. There were very few powers in the world that could cause his sacred body of the ancients to explode. Even with the elixir of immortality and the yin-yang divine fruit, it was still impossible. Jun Xiaoyao grew up eating the immortal herbs. Now, refining the immortal herbs was like eating jelly beans for him. There was no pressure at all. As the majestic energy surged in his body, Jun Xiaoyao's primordial spirit in his divine palace and the golden spiritual sea were both surging. The divine origin seemed to have also resonated and started to release energy. Gradually, the power of Jun Xiaoyao's primordial spirit, the power of the spiritual sea, and the original power of the divine origin seemed to be entangled and turned into a spark. The majestic medicinal strength of the immortal herbs and the yin-yang divine fruits was the fuel that made the spark grow stronger. Jun Xiaoyao finally broke through to the divine flame realm. For a moment, Jun Xiaoyao's entire body seemed to be burning with a layer of sacred flames. In contrast, Jun Xiaoyao looked like a god. Above the divine flame realm was the 9th level of the reaching saint realm. Once he reached the 9th level of the reaching saint realm, it meant that Jun Xiaoyao would transform from a young man to a real powerhouse. With Jun Xiaoyao's cultivation speed, this day would not be too far away. By then, apart from a few extremely powerful figures in the younger generation of the mystic realm, there would be no one left. Most of the geniuses would be left behind by Jun Xiaoyao. After breaking through to the divine flame realm, Jun Xiaoyao was not done yet. His aura continued to rise. During the few days that Jun Xiaoyao broke through to the divine flame realm, what happened in the yin-yang soul pond was spread in the dark nether realm by the Iron Bone clan, the Blue Ghost clan, the Gongming family, and other forces. This time, it was like a bomb falling into the bottom of the sea, causing huge waves. It had been a long time since something like this happened in the dark nether realm. The last time the Fallen Feather clan was provoked was many years ago. It could be said that in the dark nether realm, even a dog raised by the Fallen Feather clan could do whatever he wanted. Now, the person who died was the Fallen Feather Saint's follower. What was more shocking was that the person who killed the Fallen Feather Saint's follower was an outsider. This made the news even more legendary. All the burial earth creatures in the dark nether realm could not understand why an outsider dared to provoke the Fallen Feather clan. As expected, not long after the news spread, the Fallen Feather clan made a move. The Fallen Feather Saint did not do it himself. Instead, he sent a few followers to Baiwang City. The news that Jun Xiaoyao was in the Tsang family was no secret. As for those followers, they were all stronger than K Tian by a large margin. For a time, this news caused Baiwang City to become the focus of attention. Many burial earth beings rushed to Baiwang City out of curiosity. For these burial earth creatures who had lived for a long time, they would not miss this rare opportunity to watch the show. At the same time, the entire Tsang family was panicking. In a hall, a few elders of the Tsang family hurriedly advised the Tsang family patriarch, "Patriarch, we can't delay any longer. The only thing we can do now is to capture that outsider and send him to the fallen feather saint to beg for forgiveness." Although the fallen feather saint did not come in person, he had sent a few followers to show his attitude. If the Tsang family was implicated because of this, it would be too unfair. The Tsang family patriarch hesitated. To be honest, from a rational point of view, he should do as the elders said. No matter how monstrous Jun Xiaoyao was, he could not be stronger than a saint like him. However, Jun Xiaoyao's attitude toward him, as well as his mysterious background, made the head of the Tsang family hesitate. This kid can enter the burial earth alone. He must have an extraordinary background. What if the faction behind him is stronger than the fallen feather race? Wouldn't that be worse? The Tsang family patriarch hesitated. How is that possible? Even if that kid has an immortal faction behind him, he's about the same as the fallen feather race. This is the burial earth. A strong dragon cannot defeat a snake in its own territory, the Tsang family grand elder said. Just as the Tsang family patriarch was hesitating, the sisters Tsang Yu and Tsang Shui walked in. "Patriarch, are you going to bite the hand that feeds you?" Tsang Yu said coldly. "The young master saved my life, but you are thinking of how to capture him and send him to the fallen feather saint. What is this?" Tsang Shui was also angry. She had completely refined 3 yin-yang divine fruits and could control the yin-yang body freely. If there were no accidents, she would become one of the pillars of the Tsang family in the future. The Tsang family sisters' words were not light. At this moment, a secret voice transmission suddenly entered the Tsang family patriarch's ears. His heart trembled slightly, and there was a hint of extreme shock in his eyes. He then said decisively, "Let's talk. No one in the Tsang family is allowed to touch that young master." Chapter 324. These words caused all the members of the Tsang family to be stunned. The Tsang family leader was hesitant earlier. Why was he so determined to protect Jun Xiaoyao now? "Family leader, you can't do that!" the Tsang family leader exclaimed. In his opinion, it was not worth it to go against the fallen winged tribe for a human from the outside world. "If you have any objections, you can bring them up to the patriarch," the Tsang family leader said coldly. "What, the patriarch?" The Tsang family leader was stunned and did not say anything else. The patriarch of the Tsang family was the strongest person in the Tsang family. He was a saint king. Moreover, the patriarch of the Tsang family was good at divination. The Tsang family had faced many disasters, but the patriarch of the Tsang family was able to save them from danger. Therefore, everyone in the Tsang family respected the patriarch of the Tsang family very much. The Tsang family leader and the others were speechless when they heard the patriarch of the Tsang family's instructions. Powerful literature website. In fact, they could not understand why the patriarch of the Tsang family would make such a ridiculous decision. At this moment, in the depths of the Tsang family's ancestral land, a living being was sitting cross-legged in the void. His physical body was faintly cracked, and his face was filled with horror. In front of him was a tortoiseshell, which was directly shattered into powder. How is this possible? How shocking is this child's background? I only did a little divination, and it almost caused me to suffer a backlash. This living being was the patriarch of the Tsang family, a saint king expert. However, at this moment, his face was filled with horror, and he could not remain calm. The Tsang family had naturally reported Jun Xiaoyao's matter to the patriarch of the Tsang family. The patriarch of the Tsang family wanted to divine Jun Xiaoyao's background before making a judgment. However, he had just begun to divine when he suffered a backlash from a terrifying existence. A dignified Saint King expert's physical body almost collapsed because of a backlash from divination. Who would dare to believe this? Exactly how terrifying is this kid's background? Exactly who is that terrifying existence that's secretly protecting him? A supreme being? No, it feels stronger than a supreme being. Could it be a heavenly venerable, mystic venerable, Tao venerable, or a quasi-emperor? The more the Tsang family patriarch thought about it, the more frightened he became. He could almost disintegrate a Saint King's body with just a wisp of aura. This was a level that not even ordinary utmost exalts could reach. Above the 9th level of the Saint realm was the 7th level of the Sovereign realm. The so-called Supreme Sovereign was just a general term. The Tsang family's patriarch was sure that the existence protecting Jun Xiaoyao was absolutely terrifying. No wonder he had the confidence to come to the burial ground alone. This child's background is indeed extraordinary. The fallen winged race might have kicked an iron plate this time. The Tsang family ancestor was still fearful. He hastily issued an order to not offend or neglect Jun Xiaoyao. Of course, Jun Xiaoyao wasn't aware of the commotion that had taken place in the realm of Dark Nether. The Tsang family didn't disturb Jun Xiaoyao because of the Tsang family's ancestors' orders. At this moment, Jun Xiaoyao was in seclusion in a secret room. His body was surrounded by a thick layer of holy flames. In contrast, Jun Xiaoyao looked like the radiant deity king. His current aura had also reached the great perfection of the divine fire realm. In just a few days, Jun Xiaoyao had directly crossed 5 levels, from the great perfection of the Heaven Ascension realm to the great perfection of the divine fire realm. This breakthrough speed was enough to stun everyone. When other prodigies broke through, they would climb up one small realm at a time. However, Jun Xiaoyao was like a geyser. It was fine if he didn't break through, but once he broke through, he directly crossed a level. It's about time. I still need some time and some accumulation to reach the 9th level of the Saint realm. Jun Xiaoyao opened his eyes. The 9 levels of the Saint realm were divided into the Void God, True God, Heavenly God, Tao God, Quasi-Saint, Saint King, Great Saint, and Sacred Lord. Breaking through to the Void God realm wasn't particularly difficult for Jun Xiaoyao. However, Jun Xiaoyao was ambitious. As long as he broke through, he definitely wouldn't just break through one level. That kind of slow, squeezing toothpaste way of breaking through wasn't suitable for Jun Xiaoyao. Now Jun Xiaoyao, who had reached the great perfection of the divine fire realm, had comprehensively improved in all aspects. The strength of his mana immunity had increased again. Jun Xiaoyao felt that even if he used 6 kinds of magic and performed the full power of the 6 paths of reincarnation fist, he probably wouldn't be able to break through the mana immunity in one move. That was a little scary. It meant that Jun Xiaoyao could be almost invincible when facing most prodigies for a short period of time. The enemy's mana magic couldn't hurt Jun Xiaoyao. In close combat, the sacred body of the ancients was also almost invincible. In addition, Jun Xiaoyao also obtained the special ability of the yin-yang divine fruit. It could turn his aura into death qi so that he wouldn't be discovered by the creatures in the burial ground. Just as Jun Xiaoyao was digesting his gains, he suddenly raised his eyebrows. His gaze seemed to penetrate the wall and look into the distance. Are they really here to die? Jun Xiaoyao smiled faintly. At the same time, outside Baiwang City, 3 figures appeared in the sky above. Among the 3 creatures, one was in the form of a beast. It looked like a pitch-black leopard with black wings on its ribs. There was also a young man who looked like a human but had a single horn on his forehead. The last living being was a human woman. She had a hot figure and her clothes were revealing her snake-like waist. She looked extremely seductive. Her pale face was also extremely seductive. These three creatures were immediately noticed by the creatures in the burial ground in Baiwang City. Those three are the followers of the fallen feather saint. A creature in the burial ground whispered. The creature that looked like a black leopard was the black-winged demonic leopard. The man with a long horn on his head was the prodigy of the unicorn clan. As for the woman, her name was Sheiji. As the followers of the fallen feather saint, these three creatures were quite famous in the dark nether territory. The black-winged demonic leopard spoke in human language and said coldly, "That human from the outside world is really bold. He dares to steal the young master's yin-yang divine fruit. Also, the Tsang family of Baiwang City dares to protect that human from the outside world. The young master is preparing for the 10 Kings banquet. Let us deal with this small matter. Bring him to the young master and let him make the decision," the man from the unicorn clan said indifferently. "I heard that the human from the outside world is handsome and extraordinary. I wonder if he's as handsome as the young master?" Sheiji giggled. In her limited knowledge, the fallen feather saint was already extremely handsome. The man from the unicorn clan waved his hand and said, "Don't waste time. Let's go to the Tsang family." After a short while, the three of them arrived at the Tsang family. The Tsang family patriarch and the others had already received the news and were waiting at the door. The Tsang family patriarch braced himself and cupped his hands slightly at the unicorn clan's patriarch and the others. "Your presence brings light to my humble dwelling." Although he was a saint, he did not dare to offend the followers of the fallen feather saint. "Cut the crap. You should know why we're here. Tell that human from the outside world to obediently come out and surrender," the man from the unicorn clan said indifferently. "You've gone too far." Tsang Yu and Tsang Shui glared at each other. "Haha, does the Tsang family dare to make the young master an enemy?" the black-winged demonic leopard said in a deep and cold voice. The Tsang family patriarch and the others' expressions froze. They did not know how to respond. At this moment, there was a loud bang and a terrifying aura rose. Large amounts of divine flames spread out like a sea of fire. In the sea of fire, Jun Xiaoyao, dressed in white, stepped out of the sea of fire. He looked like an immortal god. Who does the fallen feather saint think he is? Is he worthy of being my enemy? Chapter 325. Jun Xiaoyao's hair danced in the wind, and his clothes fluttered. He stepped out of the fire tide like an immortal king. His aura was too powerful, far stronger than before he went into seclusion. Jun Xiaoyao was able to crush K Tian and the other divine fire realm burial earth creatures when he was in the heaven ascension realm. Now that his cultivation base had broken through to the perfection of the divine fire realm, his strength was naturally incomparable. "Young master!" When Tsang Yu and Tsang Shui saw Jun Xiaoyao, they first showed joy. Then, after sensing his aura, the joy on their faces turned into shock. Only a few days had passed, and Jun Xiaoyao's cultivation base had broken through from the perfection of the heaven ascension realm to the perfection of the divine fire realm. This simply refreshed their understanding of him. Although the burial earth creature's cultivation base was generally 1 or 2 levels higher than the immortal realm's creatures. However, this sort of advantage was accumulated over countless years, and Jun Xiaoyao, in just a few days, surpassed the burial earth creature's decades of cultivation time. How terrifying was this! The corners of the Tsang family head and the others' eyes twitched. Breaking through a major realm in a few days, even with the help of the yin-yang divine fruit, it was impossible to reach this level. It's as the patriarch said. This child's background is shocking, and his talent is monstrous. Fortunately, our Tsang family didn't rashly provoke him. The Tsang family head thought to himself. To be honest, he didn't quite understand why the Tsang family patriarch would make such a decision at first. But now, looking at Jun Xiaoyao, who walked out on divine fire, that aura even made the Tsang family head, a saint, feel suffocated. The black-winged demonic leopard stared at Jun Xiaoyao, its black beast eyes carrying a hint of shock and doubt. You dare to slander the young master? Because Jun Xiaoyao's current aura was too powerful, making them feel some fear. Didn't they say that the outside world's human race is only at the Heaven Ascension realm? The one-horned man also looked puzzled. Their 3 cultivations were all at the late stage of the Divine Flame realm. Before, they were higher than Jun Xiaoyao, but now they were far inferior. Isn't this human from the outside world way too handsome? The moment Sheiji caught sight of Jun Xiaoyao, she was stunned. Previously, she had heard that this human from the outside world was quite good-looking. Now, it seemed that not only was he not bad, even the most handsome fallen feather saint in her heart could not be compared to Jun Xiaoyao. Sheiji even felt that there was no living being in the eternal burial ground that could compare to Jun Xiaoyao in terms of look. Wet, wet, Sheiji bit her lips and could not help but moan. The flood was about to break the dike. It couldn't be helped. Jun Xiaoyao had this kind of charisma. Just his appearance alone was enough to make female living beings feel shy. Jun Xiaoyao, on the other hand, had an indifferent look in his eyes. Insulting the fallen feather saint? Sorry, he is not qualified for me to deliberately insult him. Jun Xiaoyao's expression was extremely cold. How many people in the Huangtian mystic realm were qualified to be Jun Xiaoyao's opponent? Although the fallen feather saint was one of the 10 minor kings of the eternal burial ground, in Jun Xiaoyao's eyes, he was just SOSO. Even his subordinates, Yu, Wang Chuan, and the others, were enough to crush the fallen feather saint. Therefore, Jun Xiaoyao really did not have much interest in the fallen feather saint. If he did not provoke him, Jun Xiaoyao could not be bothered to find trouble with him. But now, since the fallen feather saint chose not to let him go, then Jun Xiaoyao did not have to be polite. Human from the outside world, you are too arrogant. In the eyes of the young master, you are just food, the black-winged demonic leopard said coldly. Jun Xiaoyao sighed softly. Why were there always so many blind ants blocking the way? It seems that I have to kill a genius of the 10 minor kings to show off my power, Jun Xiaoyao muttered to himself. His words were not heard by others. Otherwise, there would be another round of exclamations. There was no one else who could kill a genius of the 10 minor kings so easily. Jun Xiaoyao raised his hand and grabbed. Surging divine power poured out and condensed into a dazzling golden spear. It was the offensive divine ability of the divine elephant overpowering divine elephant, the heavenly god spear. The spear pierced through the air like a meteor, drawing a trail of flames and piercing towards the black-winged demonic leopard. The black-winged demonic leopard's expression suddenly changed. He roared, and black gas rolled around his body as if he was about to use some kind of divine ability. But before he could use it, there was a puff. The black-winged demonic leopard was pierced from head to toe. A corpse fell. What happened? The entire Baiwang city almost went silent at this moment. They did not even have time to react. When they came back to their senses, the black-winged demonic leopard was killed. This was one of the strongest followers of the fallen feather saint. He was much more powerful than Ke Tian. But he was still killed by Jun Xiaoyao in one move. Let's go. The one-horned man and Sheiji were both trembling from the bottom of their hearts. They had kicked an iron plate today. Jun Xiaoyao's expression was calm as the wings of freedom spread out behind him. He took a step forward, flapped his wings, and flew directly in front of the one-horned man. The one-horned man roared, and the horn on his forehead flowed with a blood-red light. Jun Xiaoyao did not hesitate. He punched out and hit the horn accurately. With a crack, the entire horn, along with the one-horned man's head, exploded into pieces. Jun Xiaoyao took advantage of the situation and grabbed Sheiji's slender neck with one hand. Young master, please spare me. I'm willing to submit. Sheiji felt that her neck was about to be broken. She begged for mercy. With her beauty, she was rare even in the burial ground. Her slender waist and hot body could make any man go crazy. However, Jun Xiaoyao's eyes remained calm and unfazed. Just as Sheiji's neck was about to be broken, Jun Xiaoyao let go. Sheiji coughed dryly. At the same time, she was glad that Jun Xiaoyao was moved by her beauty. But Jun Xiaoyao's next words made Sheiji fall into a daze and shock. I'll give you 3 days to find the fallen feather saint. Make him kneel before me and let me kill him. As soon as Jun Xiaoyao finished speaking, he raised his hand. Vigorous spiritual energy condensed into a seal and blasted it into Sheiji's body. If Sheiji did not find the fallen feather saint within 3 days, she would definitely die. But that was not what shocked Sheiji. She was shocked that Jun Xiaoyao dared to provoke the fallen feather saint. According to her understanding, Jun Xiaoyao should have hidden himself and left the dark nether territory after killing a few followers. However, Jun Xiaoyao said that he wanted the saint of the fallen feather to be killed. What kind of lunatic would say something like that? Get the hell out of here! Jun Xiaoyao stomped on the ground. Sheiji screamed and was sent flying. Her face was as pale as a sheet. She did not dare to stay and hurriedly fled. At this moment, all the burial ground living beings in Baiwang City had lost their voices. Jun Xiaoyao killing the black-winged demonic leopard and other living beings was not the most shocking thing. The most shocking thing was that Jun Xiaoyao dared to confront the fallen feather saint and the fallen feather tribe. That was amazing! Chapter 326. The status of the fallen winged race in the dark underworld was obvious. They were the local emperors of the dark underworld. The emperor of the fallen winged race was the ruler of the dark underworld, a high and mighty ruler. It could be said that almost no forces in the dark underworld dared to provoke the fallen winged race. However, that was exactly what Jun Xiaoyao did. Moreover, he was not a force, but a single person. He was not even a creature of the burial ground, but an outsider. Jun Xiaoyao's attitude made the creatures of the burial ground feel like an ant walking into the territory of a giant dragon and asking the giant dragon to accept its death. It was unbelievable. Either that human outsider's brain is damaged, or he's extremely confident. Confident? What confidence can he have? So what if he's the successor of an immortal force in the mystic realm? He's only as strong as the fallen winged race. But now, he's in the territory of the fallen winged race. The creatures of the burial ground around Baiwang City were discussing intensely. However, there was one thing they all agreed on. Jun Xiaoyao was definitely a top prodigy from the outside world, and he might have come to the burial ground to cause trouble. As for just how powerful Jun Xiaoyao was, no one knew for sure. Do you think he can defeat the fallen winged saint? I'm not sure, but he should be able to fight against the fallen winged saint. Jun Xiaoyao glanced at his surroundings. The creatures of the burial ground avoided his gaze subconsciously when they met his gaze. Before he knew it, Jun Xiaoyao seemed to have begun to establish his reputation. Could it be that after I become invincible among the younger generation of the Huangtian mystic realm, I'll also sweep through the burial ground? That would be too boring, Jun Xiaoyao suddenly thought. He did not like the feeling of being invincible anymore. It was so lonely to be invincible. He needed some real opponents to pique his interest. Other than helping Jiang Daoxiu find the 9 Wonders Immortal Grass, Jun Xiaoyao came to the burial ground for another reason. He wanted to see the strength of the burial ground prodigies. Now, it seemed that he was still disappointed. There was no difference except that his cultivation level was slightly higher than that of the mystic realm prodigies. Fallen Feather Holy Sun, I hope you can bring me some fun. Jun Xiaoyao smiled. Young master is really too handsome. Sister, Xiao Shui seems to like young master a little. What should I do? Below, Sang Shui raised his little head and looked at Jun Xiaoyao, who was standing in the sky. His eyes were filled with splendor and stars. Jun Xiaoyao's appearance was top-notch, his background was mysterious, and he was so powerful. Moreover, he had given her 3 yin-yang divine fruits and saved her life. This was simply the template of an overbearing CEO and Prince Charming. Which girl wouldn't love him? You're not the only one who likes it. Song Yu bitterly laughed as a trace of splendor involuntarily surged in her eyes. Big sister, little Snow doesn't mind sharing with you. Why don't the two of us serve young master together? Blue Snow's words were shocking. Sigh, this isn't our problem. It's simply impossible. Song Yu patted Song Shue's head. She wanted to see deeper than Song Shue. A top-notch prodigy like Jun Xiaoyao must have a shocking background and an extraordinary identity. How could the two of them have him? Moreover, they were burial earth creatures. It was even more impossible for Jun Xiaoyao to take a fancy to them. From the beginning to the end, they were just passers-by. Hearing Song Yu's sigh, Blue Snow was also a little disappointed. Compared to them, the Tsang family head and the others were more worried about what to do if the fallen winged race attacked. Tsang family head, your choice is very wise. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were deep as he looked at the Tsang family head. The Tsang family head's heart skipped a beat. He felt as if he had been seen through by this human youth in front of him. This kid has long predicted that our Tsang family might capture him and hand him over to the fallen winged race. However, he still has no scruples. He is indeed confident. The Tsang family head thought to himself. Only now did he realize how wise the patriarch's choice was. As for Jun Xiaoyao, he had indeed predicted that the Tsang family might attack him out of fear of the fallen winged race. If such a thing really happened, Jun Xiaoyao naturally wouldn't be soft-hearted. However, to Jun Xiaoyao's surprise, the Tsang family actually held back and didn't attack him. Seems like there are also smart people in the Tsang family. Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. The Tsang family head's face was a little awkward. After all, their previous thoughts had been seen through by Jun Xiaoyao. However, the Tsang family head still advised, young friend, you have to think carefully. You are facing the fallen winged race. The force behind you may be very strong, but this is the burial ground. The Tsang family head's meaning was, no matter how strong the force behind Jun Xiaoyao was, the emperor was far away, and they couldn't reach the eternal burial ground. You don't have to worry about this. Anyway, the Tsang family won't be implicated. Jun Xiaoyao waved his hand. Young friend, what are you saying? The Tsang family head smiled awkwardly. Then, Jun Xiaoyao returned to his residence and waited for the fallen winged saint to arrive. On the other hand, Sheiji, who had fled in a panic, had also returned to the fallen winged race's residence. The fallen winged race's residence was located in the center of the Dark Nether region. Their influence spread across the entire Dark Nether region. At this moment, there was a mountain range filled with black fog in the fallen winged race's residence. In the mountain range, a figure sat cross-legged on an endless pile of bones, using the death aura and resentful spirits as nourishment for his cultivation. It was a handsome young man with pale skin. He wore a black feather robe and had a pair of gray wings on his back. He exuded a death aura. This young man was the strongest prodigy of the fallen winged race and one of the 10 minor kings, the fallen winged saint. The 10 Kings feast is about to begin. I must obtain the yin-yang divine fruit and turn the death aura into vitality. Azura Demon Kingdom's 9th Princess Longhuan, I must conquer you. The fallen winged saint's eyes were filled with an aggressive desire to possess. The Azura Demon Kingdom was a top force in the burial ground that was no weaker than the fallen winged race. It was located in the Azura region. The 9th Princess Longhuan was the strongest prodigy of the Azura Demon Kingdom. She was also one of the most beautiful women in the entire Eternal Burial Ground. Not only that, but her strength was also extremely terrifying. She was ranked second among the 10 minor kings, second only to the one from the Hall of Pluto, who was an ancient incomplete overlord body that had crawled out of the abyss. When he thought of the ancient incomplete overlord body, a rare trace of fear appeared in the fallen winged saint's eyes. That ancient incomplete overlord body was so strong that it was abnormal. It was rumored that it was comparable to the top physique of the human race, the sacred body of the ancients, the fallen winged saint murmured. The overlord body of the heavens and the sacred body of the ancients had been rivals since ancient times. There were always people who wanted to compete with them. Although the overlord body of the heavens from the Hall of Pluto was incomplete, its strength was still unbelievably strong. It firmly occupied the first place among the 10 minor kings. The fallen winged saint naturally did not want to challenge the ancient overlord body. He only wanted to catch up with the 9th princess Longhuan. Just as the fallen winged saint was thinking, a panicked figure swept over from afar. It was Sheiji, who was fleeing. "Lord, this is bad." Sheiji's face was pale. She trembled as if she had seen something terrifying. Her eyes were still filled with panic. "Why did you come back alone? Where are the black-winged, demonic leopard and the others? And where is that ignorant human from the outside world?" The fallen winged saint frowned slightly. "They are all dead. And that human from the outside world, he. Sheiji's tone was hesitant. "What did he do?" The fallen winged saint raised his eyebrows. "He did not expect that the other 2 followers would die. He wants you to kneel in front of him and allow yourself to be killed." Sheiji trembled as she said fearfully. As soon as she finished speaking, the fallen winged saint's aura exploded. He spread his wings and set off a monstrous storm. "That human is courting death," the fallen winged saint said coldly.